This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 655. It's our 2019 year in review episode. With me this week, we have, and I'm just going to power through this, we have Matt, Don, Diecast, Rob, and Chris.
John, it doesn't matter when was is which.
I know. Doesn't matter.
We
John,
are completely interchangeable.
John and Jason, not here. John has a newborn baby, and Jason has a lot of things going on. So it is us. We are going to do this, and it's going to be amazing. Today, we are going to do our RFC Awards, which is our, basically, we're going to go through the items that we've nominated as the best of 2019, and we'll name our Toy of the Year, and also we talk about our favorite news item of the year. And we are also going to recap our predictions for 2019. One person, I think, went 3 for 3. We'll find out who that is. And, of course, we are going to recap every month for news in 2019. It's our favorite part.
Coffee is going to take a while.
Yeah. So, also, as you're listening to this, I decided today we're doing our RFC Awards, but we're also going to do a Fan Choice Award. Follow us on Twitter, and we'll have a tweet out there for each of these categories, and we'll talk about it on the next episode of the podcast, who you guys selected based on our nominations. That'll be fun. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at TF Radio. So let's go ahead and get started. The RFC Awards, what we'll do is I'll read through each item, and once we get to Toy of the Year, we'll each talk about our favorite item and as well for news item of the year. But we'll talk through some of these. It was hard. Let's start with Masterpiece. For example, we only had 2 nominations this year, and MP44 was not one of them. We had MP44.
It was a Beast Wars heavy year, so I abstained from voting on Masterpiece.
Yes, you did. MP43 Megatron and MP46 Black Arachnia were our 2 nominations, and the winner was MP43 Megatron. It's a solid toy. It's a great representation of the character. It's just more Masterpiece than I want.
Like, I was satisfied with the amount of Masterpiece that it was, but like, you're absolutely right. For a representation of the character, it's virtually perfect in both modes, but there's the material issues, the assembly issues that sometimes were cropping up, and I was just too afraid of it to keep it. But like, if that had not been the case, that would have been like the obvious pick for me for even Toy of the Year, because that was just visually so perfect, and it wasn't even over-engineered, which for a Masterpiece in this day and age is an amazing thing to be able to say.
And that paint wash on it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. So we consolidated Leader class as well as Titan class, and this year we had Commander class. So we have an award for Leader class and up. The nominees are Ultra Magnus, Omega Supreme, and Jetfire. And the winner was Jetfire. Not very surprised by that.
Yeah, I think they came out swinging with that one, being a new class.
Absolutely, they did. And Omega Supreme could have taken this, but he is exactly what you expect out of, Omega Supreme in this day and age. They got it right. But Jetfire is usually one of those toys where they have to skew fairly far away from what he was in the G1 cartoon, for legal reasons in the past. But this one, they got Jetfire perfect, and that's why he got my vote.
And I feel the opposite way about it. Jetfire is exactly what I would expect Jetfire to be from this design team. There wasn't really a lot of surprise or shock to that, which is why I was the one vote for Ultra Magnus, because of the Leader class in Siege, that one bore the weight of its price point the best, because it integrated all of its parts perfectly in both modes. Nothing that came after it did quite as well as that. It was the one Leader class toy that really lived up to its price point above and beyond any of its peers. Jetfire and Extreme, don't get me wrong, they're really nice. They just didn't do anything particularly to wow me, especially with limited points of comparison.
I didn't feel that any Leader class owned up to the owned up to the price this year. That's why I lobbied to have the Commander class and Titan added to the category.
I would have voted for Galaxy Man, only for the novelty of it, but I just am not crazy
he
about
almost
that
did.
toy.
I almost did before I asked. That would have been my choice if you had said no.
I considered the like Galaxy Man or
Galactic Man Shockwave.
Galactic,
even Astro Train, even though I don't have him yet. I still, in my mind, I see them as Voyagers with add-on pieces that they sell at a leader price point.
Small Voyagers with add-on pieces.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought Ultra Magnus did well, because like that actually has a reason to have all those extra parts, and it uses it well. And now I'll let Don express his thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, if Jetfire had not come out, I would have picked Ultra Magnus because I think, as Matt said, or actually as Chris said, it seemed like it was worth the price point that you paid. Jetfire, I think, was worth that new price point, that new Commander class.
I agree.
In size, in construction, in features. Because a lot of us were expecting, okay, this thing is almost $30 more than Leader class. Is it actually going to be worth it? And I think that's what a lot of people were surprised by. That it was actually worth being its own class, a new class of figure.
And if you got it on clearance, it was even better.
And there's been lots of opportunities in the last few months.
Yeah. Voyager. We talked about Voyager. I guess Shockwave would have ran away if it was a Voyager. But the nominees are Springer, Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime, and 35th Anniversary Optimus Prime. And the winner was Springer. To me, no surprise. That was my vote.
That was my vote as well, because it is just like Springer pulled off of the animation cell. It is exactly the Springer I wanted, except for the battle damage. Yeah, I could have done without that. But, I mean, it's the Springer I've wanted for years.
Me too.
I didn't vote for Springer because, I'll be honest, I have not had a chance to open mine yet. So, but with everything that I opened and have physically messed with, I voted for Studio Series 35th Optimus because I think not only does it look great in both modes with that cell shading, they proved they can do cell shading that looks good at a retail price point. I think that is a more important feature that a lot of people don't realize, that they can do it now, and we can get more cell shaded stuff throughout these lines at a retail price point. And I think that was the figure of the year, not just with the way it looked, but also what it represents for the line as a whole.
Go ahead, Diecast.
I was just going to say, with Springer, I mean, we really didn't get that many Voyager molds this year. You got Springer, you got Megatron and Optimus who got repainted, 2 or 3 times. You got Soundwave, Sound Blaster. I mean, they're really, unless you go down the Studio Series line, which I don't think any of the Studio Series has been like knock your socks off good.
SS-38 is really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that combines with Jetfire, right?
No, it's the
Leader class.
One.
Oh, that's the yeah. See, I get them all confused. The numbers are hard.
Well, that's why when I voted for it, I put the number with it.
Yeah, yeah. It was, and it's okay. But even that didn't like knock my socks off. It probably the best Studio Series Voyager, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so Chris, you about to say something?
It doesn't matter. I was just going to talk a little bit about Studio Series 38, but it's not that big.
Do it. It'll be forgotten after this, so we need to memorialize it.
Springer's nice, don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of the Siege Voyagers are nice, but none of them really wowed me in any particular way. They were just kind of competent to varying degrees. Studio Series 38 Optimus has a little bit of weirdness in how the robot legs come together, but other than that, it does pretty much everything I want it to, and it does it elegantly with a satisfying complexity. It just really hit the buttons I needed for a toy at that price point this year, nothing else really followed up on. I had high hopes for the Seekers, which, I mean, I ended up with 7 of them somehow, but it's still, it wasn't a wowing toy by any means. There was just something about that Optimus Prime that really clicked for me this year.
We'll revisit that's the Seeker mold in a couple minutes, surprisingly. Okay, so the next category, Deluxe. Nominees are Spinister, Ratchet, Power Dasher, Crowmar, and Crosshairs, with the winner being Spinister.
So who voted for Crowmar, out of curiosity?
I voted for Crowmar.
Okay.
For the very specific reasons that Six Gun is a nice mold anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really good in the red, black, and silver. And it's something that you just never thought you would see. It stands out.
Yeah, those are very good points. I agree with all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think Spinister is probably the.
I can't argue with Spinister. Yeah. He was on the short list.
I can't either. I went with Crosshairs because I love it. I was looking forward to it, and it's one of those rare moments when I was really looking forward to something, and it didn't let me down. So that's why I picked Crosshairs. But Spinister was, if it hadn't been for that, Spinister would have been my choice, which I think most people did love it.
I moved Spinister to a different category that we'll hit later. So, that eased my conscience a little bit.
I get it.
Yeah, Spinister, within moments of opening it and handling it, like I knew best deluxe of the entire line. Like, this is the point where they really dialed in and nailed it. And it just makes me sad that it was the last new deluxe for this line. And hopefully Earthrise does not lose the momentum off of that, and it just keeps, following along with that feeling and that level of complexity, but also like everything just working right. But I'm really happy we at least got a Spinister in Siege, so there's something to really point to. Like, this is outstanding. This is exceptional. I love this. I'm glad we got this. There's other good toys at the deluxe price point, but like Spinister blows them all away for me.
So we consolidated Legends and Battlemaster together as one category. So we have Rung, Fire Drive, and Smashdown, and the winner is Smashdown. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't going to vote for Smashdown because I'd forgotten about it. But once we had a couple votes come through, I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite one. Like, I remember that one now.
And I'll be honest, I voted for Smashdown because I don't have Rung yet.
I don't have Rung yet either, but I had to give it some acknowledgement just for existing.
Yeah, I got Rung this week at Target. They did not have Singe, so I still need to find Singe. Funny enough, I live in a small-ish town, like 38,000 people. And like the second or third Singe that I found on eBay is from the town I live in. So whoever got the Singe at Target and left the Rung, they threw it up on eBay, and I don't know why.
Well, I think Smashdown one thing that helped her figure was that it was the uniqueness of it. I mean, other than that and Terraxodon.
Terraxodon.
Thank you. Sorry.
Dawn.
I mean, I love the Battle Masters, but they're literally target masters. They're all the same, fairly much. And Smashdown was like, here, have a giant hammer to hit people with, and then you have the blast
that transforms into like a Minotaur.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
So I mean, it's like the uniqueness really set her apart from the rest of the line.
I mean, like, I ended up skipping almost all the Battle Masters because I bought the Takara Tomy Legends releases of a lot of the Titans Return stuff, which ended up coming with Target Masters. So I didn't need the double dip. The ones I got were Lionizer, Smashdown, Terraxodon. I'm going to get, like, the humanoid ones, basically I only have the ones that came with other toys, but I got to buy Singe because Spinister needs both Target Masters. Rung, at least, it's a humanoid type, but it works a little bit different than the other ones. It's not, just being a Target Master character reimagined again. It's something a little bit different too, but for the most part, the only Battle Masters that were interesting or even caught my attention at all were the animal form ones because they were new and did something outside the mold a little bit.
And notice nobody put any Micro Masters on there.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you know what? On that note, I almost voted for the Rat Bat and Rumble set just for getting us a really nice Rat Bat at retail.
Me too. That was my second choice.
Yeah. Like that's a close number two to Smashdown or Rung. Just take your pick, I guess, for which one should be in top position. But there was almost a Micromaster set that could have taken at least a vote or two.
Yeah, and I actually like that Frenzy or Rumble mold.
It's pretty good.
It's kind of miraculous considering how small it is.
Yeah, I would absolutely buy it again as
Enemy.
Frenzy Rumble, depending, or Enemy, or maybe even with a good deco change as the Autobot cassettes.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's perfectly fine for how small and simple it has to be. But otherwise, I think Don makes a good point, and just that the MicroMasters in general did not really make any kind of impression this year.
I mean,
they don't even sell them in my area anymore.
No,
either of my Walmarts, there's no spot for them on the pegs.
Or Battlemasters.
Yeah,
No.
I'd rather see the cassettes redone. It's like a select set of 4. For hopefully we'll be getting a Blaster and Earthrise at some point to go against Soundwave. But I can see them doing a select 4-pack or 2-packs. You know, Rumble, Frenzy, Rewind, Eject, and then you could do.
You can get Buzzsaw on there somewhere.
Yeah, as the red Sundor. Thank you. And I would expect to cut that deep from this crew at Hasbro. I would expect that to cut that deep.
So the last sort of standard award is going to be engineering, and the nominees were Jetfire and Spinister, and Spinister won handily, and 2-1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the scale, for the price point, Spinister is miraculous.
Yeah, I mean, like, I picked it specifically for 2 things. One is going from a free spinning rotor that is, you know, there's no encumbrance to its movement, to being able to stand upright in a V formation on the robot's back using, like, the most simple, elegant mechanism, which we've never seen, I don't think, used before for that purpose. Just like forming a little notch from 2 half grooves on the rotor base that catches into a little fin on the back. It's perfectly elegant. It does its job. It does its job excellently, and you wouldn't know it's there at any other point. And then there's that way the torso folds and unfolds going between modes. I've never seen anything quite like it before, and man, I'm all about novelty in engineering, especially when it works that well and is just that simple to do.
I also went based almost solely off the way the chest pulls through itself to form the back of the helicopter. Also, the fact that they managed to work in both legs being the cockpit. Sure, it does not hide away, you know, perfectly, but they tried. They did pretty good job of it. It's clever, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So for the next item, it's our annual news item of the year. Instead of me enumerating the items, I'm going to let everybody go through and sort of talk about theirs first before we announce the winner. We'll start on my screen. First person is Chris.
Well, so I went, and I will recite this as I put it in my ballot. Seacons before Unicron. So my pick was that we were getting the Generation Select Seacons through Takara Tomy, and that was announced before we got the Unicron update that Diecast had been campaigning for the last 18 months.
Yeah. Matt.
My ballot read #Seacons before Unicron. And of course, because it's the thing that I wanted. So,
well, I want with the before Unicron part is just a pleasant bonus.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been campaigning for that for just as long as Diecast pretty much has been campaigning for Unicron, except mine showed up first.
Yes. Rob.
I also went with Seacons in parentheses before Unicron, and well, just because it's probably the thing we talk about the most the entire year. So
we sure tried.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Don.
I actually voted for Unicron because
Traitor.
I think, well, I mean, the Seacons look nice, but they don't mean as much to me as far as an importance as what Unicron represents, and as far as getting a figure of a character that needs something of that scale, considering what it is and what it represents to the fandom. Seacons were nice, but I think Unicron was just a more important reveal.
And Diecast.
You don't even have to ask what I voted for. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Don 100%. and also that Unicron is only this. It's a Hasbro HasLab project, which is it's only the second successful project that they've done. One being Star Wars, and then the second being Unicron. There was one in between there that I think Hasbro would like to forget about. Poor Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was the biggest thing all year, and then they had the extension, and then the huge numbers at the end, like the last 3 or 4 days, where the numbers just skyrocketed beyond all our expectations. What's that?
Almost implausibly so.
Yeah, it was beyond expectations. I can definitely
beyond
say that.
Good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination. So, for me, I cast my votes last, being aware of everything that everyone else had voted on, with the intention of breaking any tie. But I also set for myself a rule that I would not set a tie or make a tie. Had it not forced a tie, even though I want the Seacons more, I think Unicron was a much bigger news item, and I think Unicron is more important as far as Transformers and Hasbro goes, unfortunately, than the Seacons, which I want more. But so that I didn't force a tie, I went with what I thought the next biggest item was, which is Hasbro relaunching Hasbro Pulse, not as like a news site, but as like their online toy store. And it's basically Hasbro Toy Shop on steroids. It's really changed, I think, the way that people buy Transformers. While it's not necessarily the first online retailer that I look at, it's a close second. And I think it's really helped people get toys in their hands, especially items coming out of Takara with lesser markup than other resellers would have them for. And it's the official home of HasLab. And it's been pretty awesome. I think it's great, and I think it's sort of given them an avenue to given them an avenue to put all these items that would have otherwise been an exclusive for a convention or something. And I think it's been pretty amazing. But of course, that means that the winner is the Seacons with a vote of 3-2, with the asterisk that it would have been 3-3 if it wasn't for my rule.
I think on a bigger picture, I guess, sort of objective viewpoint, Unicron is a bigger story for the scope of the fandom. But in terms
for
of
us,
meaning to me, the Seacons are the biggest thing of the year.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do Toy of the Year. We'll go in reverse order. So for me, for my Toy of the Year, I went with Jetfire. I think again, it goes back to it's the class is impressive. That it's definitely worth $30 more than what we're getting out of the leader class. It's substantially larger. It's more intricate. It has great accessories, and it's overall it is pretty awesome. Diecast, what did you vote on?
I voted for Omega Supreme just because, I mean, he was the Titan of the year, and I think it's a great Titan. So it was one of the biggest toys of the year, and that's kind of where I leaned to. But I can't argue with Jetfire.
Don.
I did Jetfire as well. I think it's just, again, if Jetfire hadn't come out, it might have probably would have been Magnus. And like Matt said, when you get a Titan class figure, you're kind of expecting that from Omega. Not putting Omega down, it's just when you have that much money in that size, you can achieve really good things. But I think Jetfire did the most impressive, and it felt like it was most worth the money.
I agree. Rob.
Yeah, I went with Jetfire as well, just because, that there's just a couple of things in there that just really wowed me about the figure. The most being that retractable 5mm port in the hands. I love that thing. I want to see them use hands like that again, just because that is such a great way to do that. To kind of, okay, so since I am into the Gundam model thing, where a bunch of, I don't think anybody else here is articulated fingers and actually holding weapons do not go well hand in hand. It is very hard to make something with movable fingers that can actually hold its weapon worth a damn.
Oh yeah.
And that having the 5mm port actually, pop out when you close the fingers is just brilliant. That's why I voted for it for best engineering, just on the strength of that alone. But just everything else the toy does is incredibly impressive too. The hidden spots for Titan Masters, the optional armor, the way it hides the faceplate in the chest plate, the just everything about that I really like a lot. It is a great toy.
Cool. So for Matt had a tie. I only counted the one that he went with first, not that it would have changed the votes, but you can talk about both, Matt.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, I was completely unable to make up my mind. The big powered set, while incredibly flawed, is still big powered. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. And the other one was the Rainmakers 3-pack from Siege. Both big powered and the Rainmakers, neither one of these things should exist.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form. In like they do, and it makes me so happy. I could not choose between them. I did not expect anyone else to vote for them, but they are my choices.
So big powered was going to be my second or third. With it was a toss up with another toy that I was disappointed in, but wanted desperately and still love, which was Star Convoy.
Yeah, big powered is so flawed, but just the fact that they tried. And
I know
the Rainmakers. I have wanted a 3-pack of Rainmakers ever since they started repainting the classics mold. Like, I would have taken it any way I could have gotten it. Fun Pub made a Rainmaker set, but used the wrong jets. And like, this is the first chance I ever got to have them, and I love them.
Yeah, the Rainmakers were my pick, basically for that reason. Like, the Rainmakers could not have happened at any other time and actually come out exactly perfect for representing the cartoon iteration of them. They're Tetrajets. They've got the block coloring, basically. That's something that couldn't happen if they tried to sell them normally at retail as individual releases, because they'd be too plain and too similar to each other in one sense. And the fact we got them also for less than the price of 3 individual Voyagers, that's a big thing too. There were so many toys that came out this year. It was really hard to nail down one thing to really be toy of the year. But like, the Rainmakers were such a snapshot of what 2019 was for the Transformers toy line, and so important in a collecting sense, because you couldn't get these toys in this way at any other point in the generation's history. Like, it was the only thing that made sense when I got right down to it. It had to be the set above anything else.
That's what colored a lot of my voting for this year, is stuff that we never would have gotten before, and it's like very nearly impossible that we ever got them.
On a personal note, while I'm not crazy about the Rainmaker set, to be honest, I did get a lot of mileage out of giving Don grief over trying to flip a Rainmaker set that he found on Twitter.
Well, I would like to say, in my defense, I was only asking about less than $20 more than retail, and everyone else was selling them for $140 to $170.
Except for Target, where you could find them in each and every location in the United States.
I was just at Target, and they were clearancing them for $55.
Oh,
Don, you those? I'll pick it up for you.
Flipped it for like $90.
So I mean,
when it came out, you couldn't find it anyway.
No, you're exactly right.
I admitted I was trying to make a little money to make my refractor set closer to retail.
Nobody voted for refractor.
I thought about it. He
was on my short list. Like, this year was the hardest list I have ever had to compile.
Yeah. I mean, I really thought about that, but I honestly thought getting the Rainmakers was a more important thing.
And for me, Jetfire, I think, probably does a better job of incorporating all of his bits in both modes. Refractor is a beautiful set. It is, especially if you get the convention exclusive version, it is a beautiful set. It is spectacular. And I have no idea what to do with those camera bits if I turn those guys into robots. I don't know where to stick them. Nothing quite feels right or looks good. Whereas with Jetfire, you have some pretty good solutions for pretty much everything he has.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jetfire's blast effects are fantastic.
Yes, they are.
That's
Yeah.
one.
So 2 more categories. These are like the Ignobels, I guess. They're the ones you don't want to win. Worst application of battle damage. Nominees for Seekers, Ape Face, and I let a tie go with this one. Diecast voted for All of Siege.
I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah,
Any figure with battle damage is basically my answer.
the Seekers won. I think the Seekers. I agree with that. It's the worst one. It really
Yeah,
is.
I
You've
think
seen Ape Face?
Ape Face was first on my list. I changed my mind simply based on the fact that there's 7 Seekers and they have the exact same battle
Yep.
damage pattern.
yeah, my specific vote was for all 7 Seekers. And
Yes, they win by volume.
yeah, they win by volume, and the fact by that, there's the battle damage supposed to look like they've been through a fight and they've taken all this, so you would think random singes and smears and whatever, and they sold them in a package where you can see 3 of them with the exact same battle damage.
No.
Yes.
You know what happened? I understand perfectly why they're like this. All 7 Seekers flew in a straight line formation through one field of flak cannons.
Mhm.
So as they went through, each one of them got pelted by the same ammo over and over again, and it made the same damage pattern on all of them. No, okay. So I can see what you're saying about the Seekers, but Ape Face's battle damage paint is so much more in your face. It feels like there is more of that than there is on 7 Seekers.
That's
Why
impressive.
Ape Face won in a different category for me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So-
I see that.
Judging basely or solely on battle damage, the Seekers win.
The Sad Trombone Award, which is the most disappointing toy of the year. The nominees were Ape Face, the Big Powered Set, Voyager Megatron, and that would be the first release of Voyager Megatron, not the 35th.
I changed my vote if that matters.
And yes, it does matter. And Star Convoy. So, Diecast, what did you change your vote to?
I had Voyager Megatron first release because of his head couldn't stay up.
Yep.
They fixed it on the subsequent releases. So that was disappointing to me because how do you mess up Megatron? But I switched it to the World War II Studio Series Bumblebee because that was the most frustrating, would not tab together piece of junk that I've ever gotten. I forgot about it. I wanted to forget that toy. And when I was in Target today, when I saw the Seekers for $55, that's when I saw they got more of that wave in with that World War II Bumblebee. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
that's the worst figure.
Have you
So-
transformed the Studio Series World War II Hot Rod yet?
No.
I'm just curious how it's going to stack up. I mean, there's no real reason it would be that terrible too, but
Well, it's the same mold, isn't it? So it's
Yeah,
going to
but-
be.
Yeah, but we've seen this many times where when they change the plastic colors, the parts fit and things can be affected similarly. So sometimes you get a pretty different experience out of just a simple recolor.
I
Or it
didn't
could be
realize
worse.
it was the same mold though. Yeah, you're right. Gosh. Yeah, no, there is a reason, but I think Chris's point is very valid. It might fit together, and a lot of times I go back and fix things. Yeah, it
I
didn't
find
occur
it
to-
interesting too, like with Diecast changing his vote to this Bumblebee toy, like that's I think just 2 instances of representation of Studio Series on either the best or worst list for this year from any of us.
Yeah, most of us
It
though
did
aren't.
not make any kind of impact.
Yeah, I mean, Studio Series seems to be pretty popular though amongst fans, certain fans.
Fans who like the movies.
Yeah, but one of our biases is that for the most part, none of us are really big fans of the movies, except for
Yeah.
Diecast. Strangely,
Right.
yeah. So again, Ape Face, Big Powered, Bumblebee, and Star Convoy. I put Star Convoy again. I love the toy.
I don't think I remembered to send in my vote for this category.
You did not, so I left it blank. Do you want to?
Yeah. Okay, well, mine is, Yeah, do you mind if I just fill one in real quick?
Please do it.
Okay, it was the my worst of the year because was the MicroMaster Battle Patrol, just because I did not get. I was lucky in that I did not get a lot of bad figures this year. For one, I just kind of avoided anything you guys said was terrible because I couldn't really afford to not. But those were cheap, and I was curious to see how the MicroMasters were doing, and I had one of those guys as a kid, and yeah, they will not stand up. Legs like to pop off when you go to transform them. That they are kind of just stretching the potential of the G1 with ball joints model there, just because the ball joints are not working at that tiny a scale, which is odd because.
I was going to say, hey, the MicroMasters finally made the list somewhere.
Yeah, they did.
But with Star Convoy, I was really looking forward to that toy so much, and I still actually really like it. But of course, within 30 seconds of opening the box, that golden chest emblem just snapped.
He's fragile.
It's incredibly so.
It's scary.
And I hate to say it, I felt a little better because I did pick up a second one when I got it, and it was still clearly, obviously very fragile. And it's not like I was just a total brute. Like I didn't apply any more force than I would have for any other toy. I should have just been much more careful because it's horrible. But I still love the toy, even though that one bit is horrible.
I actually found it hard to pick a most disappointing toy for this year, even though I pitched this category. But like overall, you have to admit it's been a really good year for Transformers toys on the whole.
And we went back,
yeah.
And when Siege was announced, nothing but hate and vitriol.
But they made the toys so well. It really overcame any of the biases we had over character repetition, and in a lot of cases, even the battle damage we overcame just because the toys.
I don't hate it so much.
So nice.
Like Siege is not my favorite line. I did not buy there's a lot of it I just left sitting on the shelves, but it's not because they're bad toys. All the ones I do have are fantastic toys. Well, almost all the ones I have are fantastic toys. There is a clear loser, but mostly for me, it was aesthetics that just drove me away from the line. But the ones I do have are good toys.
I ultimately had to pick Big Powered because that was my most disappointing toy purchase of the year, in that I had been looking forward to that for months. Like, I wanted a Die Atlas made off of that Black Shadow and Overlord tooling from like the time it was announced. Not even the time I first handled it, from the time we first had pictures of Black Shadow. I was like, we can make a Die Atlas out of that. It'd be so easy. Then Takara actually decided to go and do it and make the other Powered Masters with it. And then I got the toys, and the retooling was just not good, and Die Atlas's legs were hollow from 3/4 of the angles you could see them from, and it was so poorly executed, and I had wanted it so bad, and it's just so sad, and I haven't touched them since, and $160.
I gave them an A for effort. So
I mean, fair enough, but I had to pick something that was most disappointing, and that was my most disappointing. Because even though I was afraid of MP43 Megatron and had to sell it because I was too stressed to actually keep it and try to do something with it, I loved it for what it was while I had it.
If I had an honorable mention, I probably would say MP44 Optimus Prime, just because I don't think it's a bad toy at all.
What about Bumblebee?
Bumblebee is not. I was going to say I had Bumblebee first. But Bumblebee wasn't a disappointment to me because I thought it was going to be bad going in. Where Star Convoy, I wanted desperately, and I still love, but that was just, I've never had such emotion with a toy. But Bumblebee was a train wreck going in. MP44 was, it was questionable. A lot of people were, people pick apart masterpieces, photos, and transformations and stuff before they come out. And I think MP44 is better than what people were giving it credit for, but just what you get for the cost, it just doesn't match up.
I think Masterpiece Bumblebee did not win this category because most of us didn't buy it. But,
That's why I asked Brian specifically,
Yeah.
where that fell on his disappointment scale, because he has the damn thing.
Yeah, it's
But-
again, I thought it was going to be bad going in, and it met my expectations.
But
For
what did not meet my expectations and what got my vote for the Sad Trombone Worst Toy of the Year award is this poor Ape Face.
I can see that.
Like, I tried to not double up too many things in categories. I wanted everything to stand on their own, and Ape Face would have won the worst Voyager, the worst individual battle paint, battle damage paint. His plane mode is worse than the G1 toy. It's like he is.
Yeah.
Wow. Easily my biggest disappointment of the year.
Ape Face was disappointing.
So that's our RFC Awards. What we'll do again, I'll put out tweets for each one of these categories. You vote, and we'll talk about it next week. So for our predictions, do you guys, I think read through them. Do you guys want to do your own? Do you have a preference?
You can read through them.
You can
Okay.
go ahead and run through them real quick.
Okay, I'll do them real quick. And you guys will all vote to see whether or not we got them right. We'll start with Chris. By the time the 2020 reveal happens, meaning Earthrise, Hasbro will drop Trilogy from the War for Cybertron name as the Transformers line contracts.
Don't think that's happened yet.
No, we haven't quite got there yet.
Second prediction: reissue Optimus Prime's trailer will be offered as an event exclusive. I'm sad that didn't happen.
I'm joking with that,
But I know, and Don said we were trying to figure out what price it would be, and Don said $84.84, and that was just perfect.
I'm so sad that didn't happen now.
Yeah. Chris's last prediction: the promise of 190 bots in 2019 will be ignored as Series 2 is clearanced and Series 3 is cut short.
I'm
so
not gonna
glad you
say
were wrong
100%
about this.
wrong, because retail certainly has withdrawn most of its support for bots this year.
But they came out.
Yeah,
Yes,
but they're still
it's-
making them, which I'm surprised they have continued to do as well as they
Me
have.
too, but I'm happy. Please continue buying them and making them.
Uh-huh.
Rob said that eventually G1 Optimus Prime's reissue will go on clearance. It did.
It did. That's how I bought one.
Yeah, it actually came down to a price that it was worth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we were trying to figure out what that price was. I said $25
30.
would be optimal.
I said 35, I think.
35 is where I would pull the trigger. I pulled it at 50 because I'm an idiot, but I think that like $25 is not bad. And his bold prediction was, hopefully this will happen, but it's not happening this year. Generation Selects Monstructor.
I think there's still a chance, but sadly not this year.
And Matt, he said the next Titan class figure announced would be Scorponok.
It was.
Yep. And we were trying to speculate on which piece would be shown off at New York Comic Con as the tease. I said Zerak, and I think
I thought it would be a claw.
the claw.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of us kind of coming to a consensus on the claw.
Masterpiece Blaster will be announced. Unfortunately, not.
No.
And this next one, I'm not going to give you, but even though a lot of shady clickbait sites said
Yeah, because
so.
I don't think anything has been officially announced yet. So no,
And,
Lorenzo de Bonaventura hasn't said anything,
Yeah.
so it's not official.
thank
well, Optimus
God.
Prime movie would be announced. That was his. So if you check Facebook, you'll see something like every other day about an announcement of a reboot, an announcement of something, and it's always somebody sharing some clickbait site that is not trustworthy whatsoever. But people don't care; they like headlines. So
A lot of that was going around in the build up toward the Bumblebee movie, also.
yes.
So that's not surprising.
So Diecast, he said no movie announcements this year. Correct.
Which we've had nothing confirmed. So yeah.
He said HasLab Unicron. Of course. And this one I'm going to give him because I just, again,
I don't know any sales numbers.
yeah, but
We know Hasbro's fortunes have been down this
Hasbro's
year.
fortunes have been down, and coming from retail and merchandising, I can tell you, unless there's money being paid to the retailer, the amount of space on a planogram will tell you how well a line is doing, and Transformers keeps getting smaller. amount of space dedicated to them. So, yeah, that's.
So he said Transformer sales would decline in 2019.
Yeah.
That's what we're referring to.
Yeah. So Diecast, I think, went 3 for 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe so.
that's not even that out there as a prediction, and we probably said as much before, because if there's not a movie line, the sales are going to start to slip.
Pretty much. Don said HasLab Unicron. So, like, strictly, and I'm going to give him that. Strictly speaking, what he said that the next HasLab item announced would be Transformers related, and it wasn't. It was the Cookie Monster. But
Hasbro seems to have erased that from memory. So.
Yeah, we had no idea we would be getting like 2 within like a month. He said that it would be Transformers related, likely Unicron or Primus. Then I said there would be no other HasLab release announced ever. I was wrong.
Well, if Unicron hadn't succeeded, you would have been right.
Yeah.
Just it would have been on a larger timescale.
The next 2, Don, unfortunately Don didn't get. I was hoping he would. Masterpiece, Tigatron, or Tarantulas.
I figured with the Cheetor mold, at least they had the basic. I know they couldn't reuse that
They've got
Cheetor.
an engineering design at least to work from.
Yeah, at least the skeleton, the transformation is there.
They just got to make it bigger.
Mm-hmm. Or
No, there's a
Masterpiece.
lot of stuff on this list that I can say, that was a pretty good, prediction.
Yeah. Or Masterpiece, Trailbreaker, or Hoist. That'll happen eventually.
In 2020.
Yeah, Don. That
Yeah.
I would reuse that one.
Yeah.
Jason not here. 4 waves, or 1 wave per quarter is all we'll get. So he didn't get that one, but it wasn't that far off.
Yeah, we're on wave 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Masterpiece Jazz,
Sadly, no.
G1 Jazz specifically. This one I don't think this one's correct, but you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Less battle damage on Siege toys.
Maybe going into 2020.
And the next War for Cybertron trilogy toy line will not have battle damage. That looks to be
You
correct.
got the part on here that he got that right, but I don't think we can exactly say that because Hoist has
Hoist
scuff
does?
mark deco. Yeah.
Oh, I was just looking
From
at, like,
what we've seen, yeah.
Okay, well,
Doesn't the what are they calling them? Little Micromaster base guy.
Oh, the modulators.
Ironworks.
Doesn't Ironworks have some as well?
Not specifically. What they've done with Ironworks is actually sort of clever. They've leveraged the garbageness of yellow paint and put it over dark plastic, so it looks like it's worn off with use.
rust or something.
Well, I mean, just like paint wear from normal mechanical operation. I wouldn't call it battle damage specifically in the sense that we associate with Siege. It's not like a specific graph or dry brushing effect to add like scrape marks or whatever. It's just like we know yellow paint is crap, and we're going to take advantage of that fact.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of clever, and I applaud them for the clever use of resources there.
Cool.
Yes.
And my predictions: Hound will be the last new Masterpiece toy released or announced in 2019. Was definitely the last one released. But
We had 2 more announced.
Raiden and
Nemesis Prime.
yeah. I mean, I was thinking new molds.
Wasn't Leo Convoy announced after Hound?
Was he?
Well, he's not out yet, so.
No, but this is released or announced in 2019.
Yeah, but so he was announced after Hound because we knew about Hound.
We knew about Hound
Wild.
2 years ago.
Or like summer
Yeah,
before.
I don't think
Like a year and a
my
half.
announced thing makes sense. I guess
Fair.
I meant like by the time it comes out, there would be nothing new.
Well, that was a cheat because we knew it was scheduled for a December release, Brian.
Yes. Well, a lot of these are cheats.
All things considered, though, since MP44, 45, and 46 all were delayed at least a month from their initially announced release dates, Hound very well could have not come out until 2020.
Yeah.
It's more of a miracle that it came out on schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
Hound is one of those that I keep kind of seeing or hearing that it's really good.
Out
and I
tomorrow.
have it. I have it in the box. I just haven't opened it because
Oh, you
I
got
was
yours
sick.
already?
Yeah, I got
Amazon
mine
Japan?
on Friday, but I was sick in bed Friday, so
Cool. Cool.
I hope mine will be here tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Hi. Concerning things, so it'll be interesting on the next regular episode of RFC
Will
to
not
see
be
how this.
it won't be worse than Bumblebee.
If I had
not-
gotten Hound
not
by
the same
today, if I had gotten Hound by today, it by default would have been my best masterpiece of the year.
Yeah.
I'm hearing good things, so
Cool.
I'm hoping that it's.
And
Hopefully-
our last, my last prediction for 2019, plans for G1 reissues will be scrapped. In the news right now, Astro Train is out for a ridiculous $50, but it's
Yeah,
out.
Rob, you want to predict that'll go on clearance again?
Please.
Yeah, I don't think it's even worth the effort at this point.
Yeah, it's low hanging fruit.
Mhm.
Some places, Sound Even the cassettes are on clearance now too, and those were actually priced like basically right for what they are.
Man, I'd love to get a hold of some of those on clearance.
This is Brian, and I want to share with you some exciting news. We are launching our Patreon community today on January 1st, 2020. You can find that at patreon.com/tfradio. I think this is going to be an awesome opportunity for us to partner more closely together as a community, and I just think it means great things for all of us. We will be able to help keep Radio Free Cybertron on the air, and it will enable us to do a lot of great new things in the future. So we have 3 tier levels. We have the first at $3.99 a month, which is leaving money on the table. We, with this tier, are offering up a weekly Patreon exclusive podcast, which we are taking our pre and post show from the Radio Free Cybertron live stream and bundling those together into a podcast form and making that available to our patrons. And we also will have a monthly Q&A that we will have for patrons, and you can get that at the Leaving Money on the Table tier. Moving ahead, we have the next tier, which is Matrix Bearer. That's $6.99 a month. That will give you early access to RFC Throwback, which is a returning podcast. It is basically the original format for Radio Free Cybertron going back 20 years to 1999. Back then, I really didn't know what I was doing, and I was loose and free when it came to content that we had on the show. And to be honest, it was a lot of fun. It was freeing, not worrying about a specific format that we had to keep to. And I think by bringing that format back, it will be a lot of fun. And I think it'll allow us to do a lot of new and interesting things. That's going to be great. Also, at that Matrix Bearer tier, you'll get early access to all Transformers podcasts that are not time sensitive. We don't want to negatively impact our non-Patreon fans by holding back shows that are time sensitive in nature. But anything that is not time sensitive, such as an RFC minicast that we might do, or that RFC throwback podcast, you will have access to that 3 days earlier. Now, that RFC throwback podcast, you'll actually have access to 2 whole months before it shows up at our regular podcast feed. 2 whole months. That's pretty cool. Our top tier is Touched, because you got the touch. At that tier, we're actually going to have some physical swag, which is our RFC trading cards. We'll have those on an intermittent basis. It will not be monthly, but we will have some for the first month. And as new patrons sign up at that level, or people re-up to that level, you will get the cards that we have already produced, assuming that we still have them in stock. So that will be pretty cool. You'll also get a chance to vote for content for the podcast. We'll create a venue or an avenue where you can connect with us, and you get a say on what we talk about. So that'll be pretty cool. And at that tier, you'll also get producer credits on the website and on the weekly Radio Free Cybertron podcast. We're going to thank folks at that tier each and every week at the end of the show. That'll be really great. If you sign up for our Patreon during our live stream, or you up your membership during our live stream, I'll get a notification and I will give you a shout out on the show. And that goes for any tier whatsoever. And the whole point of Patreon is to help tighten our community and bring us closer together. Join our Patreon community and not only show that you are an RFC superfan, but you also have a vested interest in the future of the podcast. Again, check it out at patreon.com/tfradio. We're going to have a special offer for the first 2 weeks. You will get a personalized, hand-signed, handwritten postcard from me to you. And that's for the first 2 weeks. All of the inaugural patrons will get a handwritten, and I will do my best. I will use my best penmanship. I will take time to write a beautiful note to you. And again, inaugural patrons for the first 2 weeks will get a beautiful handwritten postcard from me to you. Patreon.com/tfradio. So let's go ahead and start our recap of the news for the year. Looking back in January. So real quick, I may have something listed as January or March or whatever. And the news item may have been from the previous month by like a week, but I'm going by how we covered it. So if something is a little bit off, it's because it's based on based on our recording schedule. So 35th anniversary begins as G1 reissue, Soundwave and Condor cassette buzzsaw revealed, as well as more G1 reissues coming. Warpath and Gears join the Walmart exclusive lineup. So it was nice seeing that stuff pop up. I don't think it was that big of a deal for us as Transformers fans, but I think that was, it was some mental energy looking for these things, especially Soundwave for me later on.
I really should have gotten a new Warpath. I have 2 of them, and neither of them have the barrel.
Oh, yeah, that's important. I don't know that I've seen those in store recently.
I was gonna say, Warpath and Gears. Like, did we hear anything about them since we heard they were coming?
I have them.
I'm looking at them right now. Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw them.
Yeah, they're both behind my monitor.
I never saw them, but I know they came out.
Yeah, so they came out. Bumblebee, Swerve. Did Outback come out?
Yeah.
I want to say yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I never saw Outback.
Pretty sure it came out. Also, Studio Series Leader Class Jetfire and hand photos featuring the Jet Power Optimus Prime. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. I didn't care. Still don't.
Oh, man.
I was excited about it. I got both figures, and I don't think I took either one of them out of the box.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. It would just still be boxed up, like a lot of things are. BotBots continues to surprise as new Series 1 color change figures leak on Hasbro Australia's website. Now, did those come out here? The color change?
By Amazon exclusives.
Okay. I need to go back and make sure I got those.
That was the Bakery Bites, I think.
Oh, I have them. Well, Bakery Bites, I thought also were at Target. Were they not? Maybe not. I'm pretty
the color
sure.
change one, I don't think were, because I'm pretty sure those were Amazon exclusives for the US.
Okay, I need to double check that then. Good to know. Siege Prowl in-hand images in Video Wave 2 Deluxe Transformers War for Cybertron, review. Prowl. I don't know.
Looks like a shoe.
Yeah. Was it
An ugly shoe.
Was it Prowl that had the Cybertronian text on it?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on from that then. Wave 2 Micromasters, 2-pack in hand images, Red Heat and Stakeout, and Ravage and Laserbeak. Now, Ravage and Laserbeak didn't come out until like mid to late summer, if I remember right.
No, I think they were out a little earlier. They were out to coincide with Soundwave.
I don't think I got them until
April-ish.
August. Really? Okay, I must have missed out then.
Well, what happened is the same that happened in a lot of places for like in-store presence, where Wave 1 Micromasters just did not sell. So you saw them for the first time in August because that's the first time your local store actually the cycle
Amazon, I thought. No, I found them in the store. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I think
I got mine off Amazon.
Yeah, and that was earlier in the year than that.
Siege Wave 2 Leader Class Optimus Prime, first images of Galaxy Convoy Cybertron homage. That came and went. You would think that Cybertron Optimus Prime would have been like a bigger hit.
Yeah, except it was smaller, did less things, and didn't look as good as the original Cybertron toy.
It didn't. Siege Ironhide Wave 2 review. People are happy with that toy. Still are.
It's a good toy.
It's a good
It's
toy.
the
It's a good toy.
best deluxe Ironhide we've ever gotten.
We got official images of movie masterpiece Jazz and Megatron with the body ripping action.
Yeah, it's good that they revealed those at the same time, since they kind of go together as a set.
Encore
Yeah.
Big Convoy in hand photos. This was kind of like a nice resurgent year for Big Convoy because we got 2 reissues of it and an announcement for another one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which, do we know when? We'll get to it. Figure King scans of MP44. Basically, we still hadn't got MP44, and there was a lot of speculation as to what that would look like and how that would work out. And also in January, rounding things out, we had Siege Leader Optimus Prime truck mode images leaked.
I feel like that might have been around the time we were starting to think, oh, this isn't going to be that good after all, is it?
But of course, in February is when Toy Fair rolled around, middle of the month. So many news items. So we got previews: Mirage, Impactor, Omega Supreme, Jetfire. We were hopeful. I think people. Did we know Impactor was coming out? I think that had been
Yeah.
leaked.
Fan
Yeah,
vote.
it was part of the fan vote.
Oh
too,
right,
back
that
then.
one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else? MP45 rumor. MP45 to ship in September is Masterpiece Bumblebee with Spike. Unfortunately, that one ended up being a correct rumor. We got more. We got a review of Siege Leader Optimus Prime with screenshots. That was, I guess, an early release, quote unquote.
I think this was about the point with that toy where I was settling into the perspective of, I appreciate they're doing something that's not G1, but I don't want this.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Official images of Golden Lagoon Soundwave from Wonderfest 2019. That was certainly a thing.
Did you ever get one?
I did not get Soundwave.
Oh.
I don't think. Soundwave, is that Masterpiece or is that...
I think it was the Titan's Return.
maybe I do. I need to go back and check. I don't want it if I had it. I don't think I have it. Wonderfest also again happening at that time. Generations, Siege, Legends, 35th Anniversary, Star Convoy, and Armada Optimus. Still waiting on that Armada Optimus. We got photos, of course, of the inner Optimus Prime for Star Convoy. Got up-close shots of those toys as well. Is Armada Optimus ever coming out?
We don't even know what it was designed for, what line it was designed for.
I would have to think that it's coming out at some point, because for them to show what they did, there had to have been tooling made. Like, that was not hand carved prototype
No.
or 3D printed or whatever. That was injection molded. There's molds for that, and they made that investment. It's got to come out somewhere sometime.
Winter Wonderfest. We also got photos of MP44 Convoy, or Optimus Prime, actually. Bumblebee and Black Arachnia. Yeah, they dropped. When did they drop?
We sure did.
When did they drop calling Optimus or Convoy Optimus Prime?
Okay, so the thing about that is, if it's the G1 character, it's still Convoy. If it's movies or anything after 2007, it's Optimus Prime.
That's so weird. Okay, so it is Convoy. That's just so weird to me.
Like for Japanese animated, that's Optimus Prime, but for a masterpiece or something, it would still be Convoy, etc. All the movies are Optimus Prime.
So weird.
Yeah.
Of those 3 masterpiece toys, I think there was a lot. There's anxiety around all 3, honestly, and 2 of them one ended up being okay, one is crap, and one ended up being really good. And I think it's surprising as to which one that was. What else? Cyberverse Spark Armor battle previews, including Skybite. I never picked that one up.
I
No, Chris
have it.
did.
You're not missing anything.
No. But the Spark Armor toys ended up being, I guess, kind of cool. Sorta.
It's concept, if nothing else.
Yeah. Let's see here. That also included the Optimus Prime with the Arc.
Yeah, which was on clearance for like half price for most of November and part of December.
Yeah, I kind of regret not getting that one.
Which is strange, is my Target, they were still regular price up until the last time I saw them a week ago. They never went on clearance at my Target, and I haven't seen them anywhere else.
Yeah, there's also the Cheetor, which I got from Hasbro, and I gave it away as contest fodder. I kind of wish I had held on to that one. I can still get it. It's Cheetor though.
It's not good.
Let's see here. What else? Transformers Siege Weaponizer Brunt stock photos came out. We also got photos of Jetfire. I guess the Skyfire mode of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bot photos had been released also in February. And we got just, again, a lot of Toy Fair photos. Let's see here. Well, I guess what were the big news items coming out of Toy Fair this year? This one, I remember it being...
Jetfire.
Yeah, Jetfire. I remember it being kind of disappointing, but not as disappointing as years when it had been completely spoiled. But any spoiling was by Hasbro.
I think the 35th anniversary subline probably was the biggest thing we
Which
latched
they didn't
on.
even announce.
Right.
Well, they just showed it off to Agent M at Marvel, and then somebody luckily got photos of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think we paid the most attention to that in the moment because it was so mysterious, and we couldn't figure out why they took it away before, like, the people to whom it would matter actually got there to see it.
Probably because it was a store exclusive.
Probably. Well, that's the thing, though. For the fan media day, that doesn't matter so much because, like, that's not about selling product to store buyers. It's about showing us what's coming.
But they were probably trying to sell it to somebody, and they needed to keep it as under the wraps until before it was announced.
But I think everything else from the showroom had been previously shown off through official channels. I don't, other than the 35th anniversary stuff that we weren't supposed to see, I don't think there were any real surprises.
Weird media sites that get stuff that have nothing to do with Transformers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That post
your
articles.
Kotakus and Screen Rants. Yeah.
Screen Rant is the one that bugs me. Kotaku is fine, but Screen Rant just is not a good website. Let's see here.
Well, they're a good website, when money needs to change hands for publicity.
I'm not commenting. I don't know if that's the case. They probably just like the clicks. Generation Selects Combat Megatron was revealed and went up for sale pretty much immediately. Actually, before it was announced, wasn't it?
By a couple minutes, I believe.
Yeah, a few minutes before it was announced. And that toy did not get the shake that it deserves. It's a good toy and it's a great deco, but people just don't like it.
The tolerances were better than on the initial retail release too.
Well, and it has the Gold's alternate head too.
Yeah, that is a great head sculpt.
Yeah, it's a great toy.
I kind of wish they had put that head sculpt on a more like Megatron Origins kind of deco, since that's what they were going for. But it is still a great sculpt, and I'm glad I got that.
2-pack with Impactor.
Yeah.
Ectotron was announced. This was just a crazy week, crazy couple days. So many items popped up for sale. And Ectotron, I think, pretty much sold out within minutes or within a couple hours. It didn't last long, if I remember right.
Yeah, I remember it went up before the event.
Yeah, so Hasbro seemed to have a few see now, buy now, or at least see now, pre-order now things prepared for Toy Fair, but the scheduling didn't quite line up, so we were able to get orders in and see some stuff before the panel actually heard about them.
Yeah. Let's see here. So I love this headline. I'm just going to repeat it. Transformers G1 reaction figures coming will probably make you miss Action Masters.
That was the Rob headline, wasn't it?
Probably.
Great headline. So
I've
go ahead.
I've mentioned before, just reaction figures bug me. I don't like I don't like it when people do things bad on purpose. These are certainly some of the best sculpts I've ever seen out of the line, but yeah, just not my thing.
I generally hated Reaction going in, but in my mind, Reaction has sort of become its own genre. And with that in mind, I can kind of appreciate the ones that are, I don't know, what's the best way of putting it, but the ones that exemplify that genre of toy.
That's fair.
Don, what were you about to say?
Yeah. I was going to say, Reaction is...
And Don froze up.
He wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Reaction.
Reaction, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Reaction was Headmaster Don 2019.
Reaction.
No, I was going... No, I like the Reaction. I think the sculpts are great, but I love the card art more. I love the packaging more than I actually love the figures.
Mm-hmm.
Other items announced that we got photos of, Alpha Trion, Deadlock, the Scraplet, Gnaw, and more. I think we're pretty excited about that. We thought that the Gnaw might actually share some engineering or tooling potentially with the Generations toy. It does not, but it's pretty. It's a really nice simplified version of the character.
It takes some design
Yes.
cues, we can say, but yeah, it's much larger, all new parts. I
And
love
simpler.
it. Just yeah. The scraplets also turned out very, very nicely. Really simple little figures.
Yeah, they're
Fun.
great. There's a lot
So
of
you're-
great stuff in Cyberverse.
So you're saying Cyberverse Gnaw is not a retool of G2 Smokescreen?
I'm
Nice.
not prepared to go that far.
Okay, let's see here. A lot of stuff in February. We learned about Decepticon Red Wing. We thought it might be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive or some channel. We didn't know exactly.
Because we weren't supposed to find out about Red Wing at that point. They mistakenly included some of its information in the Generation Selects Megatron product listing on Hasbro Pulse.
Oh, I forgot
That's
about that.
right.
That's funny.
That's why we knew about that in February.
Let's see here. We learned about other Siege listings: Astrotrain, Barricade, Ape Face.
Poor ape face.
Yeah.
Sure took a while for those to get fulfilled, didn't it?
Yeah. Of course, this was the same week, so this is a little bit out of order. Hasbro Pulse relaunched as basically the retail site. We learned that the home for the new Transformers Generations or War for Cybertron series would be Netflix after Go90 died a miserable death.
And
Deservedly so.
Machinima folded too in the inner rim.
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't remember this item at all. Transformers Online, certain Affinity Studios working on new third-person shooter.
Yeah, I clicked through that too when I was looking through the show notes the other day, and I don't think anything else has come up about that since.
Yeah, I don't remember a thing about it.
I'm not sure if that ended up being like a vaporware thing. I'm not sure if that's even still like in the works.
Let's see here. We got more photos of GT Combat Megatron. Bumblebee launched. Oh, we learned that Bumblebee would launch in March on digital and Blu-ray, DVD, and it turns out VHS for the lucky few that got it. We got photos of the blue big convoy. Something I'd completely forgotten about, which was the Mazinger Z versus Transformers manga.
I still want to see that. I have not read it yet.
So, is there a collected edition of it available? Did they finish that, Rob?
As far as I know, it was just a one shot in a single volume.
I
So
need to get it then.
yeah, should be out there. I don't know that it's out there in English, but it is out there.
Okay, I'll check Amazon Japan. Hasbro Pulse increased the price of Ectotron from originally $39.99, something like that. Okay,
Yeah, because when Pulse launched the first pre-orders, it was lower than anybody else's pre-order price.
yeah,
So that's why it sold out so fast. GameStop had it available for pre-order too at the same time, but they started at the $49.99 price point.
Yeah. Moving to March, Barricade revealed at Australia Toy Fair 2019. So, Hasbro New York Toy Fair is in February. Then a couple weeks later, Australia Toy Fair happens, and Hasbro usually holds back one or two things for that. Like one year it was like the Platinum Edition Trypticon that came out.
And another year, I think that was the official unveiling of Combiner Wars G2 Bruticus box set.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
I believe. I mean, I know it was shown at an Australian fan event officially. So it was something in that line of thought.
So the Sports Car Patrol is also announced there. So in March, we learned some more about the upcoming reboot of the Transformers comic, which I don't think went as well as people had hoped. Like, there's so much buzz around the Transformers comic before that, and there's none now, basically.
I don't think anyone here pays any attention to it.
I'm trying to keep up, but it's just it hasn't done anything I felt is worth taking time to review. I'll put it that way. For one thing, I just don't feel right just reviewing things negatively month after month after month, and it is starting to pick up, but it's not there.
Yeah,
at least not for me.
If you review something nice, review nothing at all.
I still need to catch up on the previous continuity. I was still like a couple years back on the books, and I didn't bother catching back up because of the reboot. But I have to say, because of that, my heart doesn't hurt, though, like with DC and Flashpoint and New 52, which I'm still angry about, and I will never give up till the day I die. Let's see here. So the biggest news, I think, all year, though, happened, which was the legendary Nemesis Prime 711 Japanese exclusive revealed. So...
No, I think the biggest news of the whole year is the item immediately following that one.
Which is the Atmos MP10 Animal and Tiger exclusive joined the Nike convoy. Like, what's up with the exclusives? I mean, like, the Japanese exclusives have been crazy. Like, I was joking, of course, about the Nemesis Prime. What?
I don't know those were even actually made available for sale. I think they were just shown there as an exhibition.
Like the Nemesis Prime 711, I guess, is okay.
Yeah, it's expected.
But, gosh, there's so many weird things this year. We'll get into it. We got a behind the design article on Pulse for Omega Supreme, sort of building up fervor for that. And in March also, Larry DiTilio passed away at 79. And I think for some of us of a certain age or a certain vintage in the hobby, he and like Bob Forward are like the most important, or some of the most important people ever involved in the design and publication and production of Transformers.
I mean, more than that, for people, even for people who don't directly know their work, Bob and Larry were pretty instrumental in helping shape what Transformers fiction was going forward because of ideas they introduced, like Sparks and Protoforms. There was quite a few things that came through them in Beast Wars that were picked up and made ongoing threads through other Transformers continuities that still hold true to today.
Yeah, and due to the time, this was like the internet was still fairly new at this point. I guess they were the first to really actively reach out to the fans for communication. They were involved on All Toys Transformers, which was really awesome. Now you have Twitter and people who write and have anything to do with Transformers. They're out there if they want to be. But it was really amazing at the time for Bob and Larry to come on to All Toys Transformers. Was it mostly Bob? But like for them to interact, and share info, and I guess potentially sometimes even get ideas for things from the fans was pretty amazing.
And outside of the Transformers, Larry DiTilio was involved in so many other TV shows, both like stuff made for kids and even other things. Like Don will note this Babylon 5. Larry DiTilio was involved in like 2 seasons.
He was friends with JMS. I guess they worked together on Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, they actually had like a professional falling out during Babylon 5 because they had different ideas of where to go with that. But like they had collaborated. Master of the Universe Ghostbusters, I think, also.
Probably. I know JMS worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
The Transformers TCG starter set coming in May, which is that crazy set that I think everybody was pretty enamored with.
TCG's great.
No,
I
that's
wish
not the
more
crazy one.
cells-
That was the box set. I'm sorry. The crazy set came later.
Yeah,
yeah, the
Energon
crazy set
edition.
came later, but
Cybertron edition, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
TCG is great. The only problem is I haven't seen a lot of retail places carrying the cards.
Target here has them. My Walmart may have them. Target
Really?
definitely does.
Good.
My Targets do not have them. My Walmarts do not have
Oh
them.
yeah, Target
I can't.
definitely.
No, I know I have seen like at least the starter packs at Walmart's.
Oh yeah, mine. My local Walmart may not have it, but the next closest one to me definitely does. That's like when I go to buy baseball cards, I need to go to the Target just north of me, and they have the TCG stuff there.
Cool.
But yeah, TCG ended up getting a lot of traction with the people whose brains actually can comprehend and follow along with how all that stuff works. Like I'm glad that's really rooted itself in with a good segment of the community.
Lorenzo de Bonaventura was basically had some
He's still
interesting
talking.
interesting thoughts and feedback and comments over the year. I guess basically,
Many of which contradicted each other.
yeah, are we rebooting or are we not? And at that point, I think he was speaking out of both sides of his mouth still.
Yeah, so I'd say I believe the official answer is still yes.
Yeah.
Well, and at one point too, I'm pretty sure he said, "I don't even know what a reboot is."
Yes.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, that kind of became a running joke for a little while.
In late March, BotBot Series 2 hit retail. And we would learn that the bios would come in September as a sticker book. Did that come out? I don't know. Let me check
It's a
Amazon
good
real
question.
If it did, there was certainly no fanfare around it.
Yeah.
quick. Yeah. I don't know. We'll check it out. Is Titan class Omega Supreme bigger than Devastator? The definitive answer in part 2 of the Hasbro Pulse interview.
Yeah, because like ever since Toy Fair, it had been a thing. People debating back and forth whether they were going to scale well together, and a lot of people were convinced that Omega Supreme was going to be like significantly smaller than Devastator. So it took until this Hasbro Pulse article where they had a test shot build of Omega Supreme and one of the Titan or one of the Combiner Wars Devastators side by side on a table together before you could actually get some of these people to admit, okay, this actually is going to be bigger than that Devastator. Because I think, like, after Trypticon especially, which was quite a bit smaller height-wise than some of the other Titans, I don't think people were convinced we would get any as big as we had had a few years earlier again.
Cool. And real quick, the BotBot sticker book is on Amazon right now. I will have it Tuesday.
Nice.
Cool. Okay, so April, Big Power exclusive out of the box photos. So
Sad trombone.
yeah,
This is where it all started to go downhill.
Yeah, we learned that we would be getting Generation Select Snap Trap, and we assumed that the rest of the Seacons would follow. And boy, were we right!
Hooray!
We also learned about Star Convoy. No, Star Convoy was in the comic for Big Power. Was that where that came from? I think
They showed the like test shot Star Convoy at Wonderfest earlier in the year.
There's a note here about Super Megatron.
Yeah,
Was Super
Yeah,
Megatron?
Super Megatron is probably still happening. So the Generation Select Seacons web comics kind of have that as a story thread. So I think once the Seacons finish being released, we'll get some more information and probably pre-orders for the Super Megatron they have planned.
I completely forgot all about this.
Because they haven't talked about it anymore.
I think I missed the episode. I think I was traveling for work this week.
Oh, maybe.
And I wasn't on that episode. So I actually remember listening to you guys talk about it in the airport. Yeah, so that's why I completely forgot about that
I
one.
was probably hosting that week.
Yeah. Let's see
I'm
here.
sorry.
More photos. We learned that MP44 would be delayed until August 31st. Still too soon. We got new images of Springer, Red Alert, Smashdown, Blackjack, and Hyperdrive. We got packaging images of Refractor, Red Alert, and Brunt. Lorenzo de Benaventura, however the heck you say it, I can never get it right. I don't care. Still talking. Still changing stories.
You said that. You said Lorenzo Ben 10, and I'm thinking that's the
Lorenzo Ben
crossover
10. That's even better.
A different alien gives you a different answer, I guess.
I've been in the same room as him and listened to him talk, and I was not really the biggest fan.
Well, no, he's a movie producer.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got our first look at Generation Select Siege Smokescreen. And I like that toy. We got our first images of Turtler.
And they were glorious.
Yes. What a
Yeah,
wonderful toy.
the first reveal we got was just a silhouette. That and Super Megatron were just revealed as silhouettes.
When's Turtler coming out?
January? End of January?
Okay. Diecast, we need to talk.
Yep.
We need to figure out who's going to be doing that painting.
But this was the first time we actually saw like the retooling and the sculpt of this, and pretty satisfying looking.
Actually, no, I needed to get Chris. Need to talk to Chris about it, because Chris, I think, had some thoughts. And you were designing the deco, we were going to get somebody to paint it.
Well, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. Let's see. I'm moving Ectotron, Transformers Collaborative, Ghostbusters crossover figure, and hand photos. We got photos of Ectotron. Nice.
Ectotron's pretty great.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're in May right now. The second of the Ghostbusters Cross Transformers Collaborative series was revealed, which was MP10G, the Ecto
35.
Is that the number? Is that its official number? Ecto 35?
Yeah,
That's
they
lame.
called it 35.
Optimus Prime, which was, it's a really interesting toy. It looks really nice. It comes in a package. It comes in a proton pack box. And I think there were concerns everywhere about how in the heck people are going to get this. I think we knew it was going to be SDCC at that point.
Yeah.
But just the demand for that was just off the hook.
Or at least we were strongly speculating that it was going to be an SDCC thing. Like, but what else could it have been, honestly?
Yeah.
Though, was that they made that ghost trap attachment for a roller.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the most clever thing they did in that.
BotBots, Arcade, Renegade, Surprise Pack, the Arcade Cabinet, Pinball Machine, Cotton Candy, and more. During the break, we were talking. That's what we were talking about, Chris, right? That's the one that you have to buy multiples. Yeah. I have one of those, so I guess I don't have everything. Crap. Okay. Another big news item. A couple years ago, last year happened 2018 when Toys R Us shut down. Toys R Us returns as Toys R Us Kids with new USA retail stores planned for holiday 2019. New Jersey and some other location. But that was a big
Did that ever
announcement.
actually happen?
Yeah, the New Jersey one opened.
So
Didn't they win Houston also?
I don't remember. But I think this was a much bigger announcement than what reality played out to be.
Not that anybody was surprised by that.
Nobody's surprised, yeah.
Remember that time somebody said they were going to bring KB Toys back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right
that was
after
like,
Toys R Us closed, they said that.
And that was like all over like the flipping internet. People were like, thought this was going to be the biggest thing ever. And I'm such a cynic when it comes to things like that, but it usually pays off to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you expect the worst, you can't be disappointed.
It's
a lot harder.
Generation Select's Red Wing, we learned, I guess, that it would be available at Target. We got official images of MP46 Black Arachnia in Shuzoku Hobby Show 2019.
Hobby Show, yes.
Yeah. There was a fan vote for more G1 reissues at Target, Blaster or Skywarp.
Walmart.
What did they say?
Target.
Okay, Walmart. I was reading Walmart as it is written on my screen, Walmart.
Yeah, and you said Target.
I said Target. Yeah. It used to be like when I worked in radio, I would often have to read like these big sheets of paper and my mind would wander. So I'd like be reading what it says, but I have no idea what it said. I'm just mechanically reciting it. And
that happens to me a lot on the podcast, actually.
yeah, I mean, it's happening to me right now. I'm like, I really need to take a swig of this energy drink.
I'm just like halfway through, saying something off the top of my head, and I suddenly realize, wait, what am I even talking about?
Making sausage. Okay, so
that's what it feels like sometimes.
Was it Blaster or Skywarp that won? I think it was Blaster, wasn't it?
I
Skywarp, I think.
don't remember. I want to say Skywarp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, these are toys that have all been reissued recently-ish. Blaster was farther back than Skywarp, if I remember right. But
Well, yeah, and that's the whole theme with these Walmart reissues. It's G1 molds that are available.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but it's like when they're reissued every 3 or 4 years, it's like not a big deal. There's other molds that they have they could reissue.
It was not easy to get the last run of Blaster, though.
Yeah,
Because that was one of those. They did it as a Platinum Edition.
there's the SDCC, the Platinum Edition, the 2-pack with
The 2-pack was the Platinum Edition.
yeah, but that's the one that came with what
Perceptor.
Yeah.
With the microscope slides. The thing is, though, almost nobody was carrying Platinum Edition stuff at that point.
And I never got that set, even though it showed up at like a Goodwill for like $30.
Dang.
Yeah, lived in the right region.
Yeah. Yeah, I should check and
Well, I
see
mean,
how much that goes for now.
Blaster, at least there's some justification for reissuing, even though it's only been a few years, because, like, good luck having found that original Platinum Edition set.
But even before that, I mean, it came out in the mid 2000s. They released it as an SDCC set, and Takara released it.
Looking at
I've got it. Okay. So, what else do we have going
I
on?
don't know SCC releases as, counting against
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
mainline releases.
Greenlight went up for sale on Amazon for pre-order. What a toy that ended up being. We got photos of new Cyberverse tiny turbo changers. Did these come out?
I'm pretty sure they did, because I think we're on, like, Series 3 of Cyberverse Tiny Turbo Changers now.
I don't remember seeing these. They're adorable.
Well, they're Tiny Turbo Changers. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's true.
They're so much better when they're not movie designs.
This is correct. Siege Wave 3 Deluxes hit retail. Good luck everybody who...
Red alert.
Yeah, for everybody who wanted the 3 refractors, that was sort of stressful.
Yes, because the case assortment only had 2 reflectors in it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Amazon. tfradio.net/Amazon.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, thank you, Skype, because we're obligated every 15 minutes.
Technically, we are.
Mm.
I ended up getting the third one on Amazon. I don't remember where I got my first 2 from. Probably Amazon.
I ordered 3 at once on Amazon.
Let's see here. Tokyo Toy Show 2019. We got the box for MP44 revealed. Woo!
It was probably a slow week that week for news.
I don't know why I left that one in, but I did. I think because I wanted to have 10 items per month at least.
Well, and also M44 was one of our, through the years
threads we wanted to follow. Yeah.
We abandoned that, though, somewhere around February.
Yeah, we did. June, MP47 Masterpiece Hound. We got a release date for that and price. And the release date was last week.
Yeah.
We got in-hand photos of Red Wing. New photos of Jetfire and Springer. So we had the Who's That Decepticon Hasbro to run new fan vote for 2020 War for Cybertron. So that was what? Runabout or Run Amok?
Run Amok, Shrapnel, I think, and Needle Nose again.
Yeah.
And Run Amok won.
Yeah. But Needle Nose will come out anyway because that Needle Nose has been on 2 in a row, and even the Siege fan vote, like only Trax and Needle Nose have not come out from the choices on that, even though Impactor and Mirage won. But we're still getting we got Spinister and we're getting Wheeljack shortly here, so Needle Nose is probably already like in production.
I forgot that Na was on there, and I can understand why they would put it out there because they sold so many of them in Legend scale, but it just seems like too soon for me.
Yeah. Well, okay, so my theory, and a lot of people held this too, they put stuff on there that was designed to fail. So Gnaw, Shrapnel, those were never supposed to win or even come close because they'd had Legends class toys within the last couple of years that most people agreed those were good enough.
Like the Legends class Insecticons are okay. Na is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. The Insecticons are perfectly good for what they need to be, honestly.
Yeah. Legends class is good for Insecticons.
Yeah, it's about correct with the Holy Scale chart.
Yes.
Now, I don't remember this. So MP47 Hound official images show the hologram effect parts with the worst shield in the history of shields.
Yeah, because it's got the canvas
Oh, dear God.
Panel thing, and the images showed it being held as a shield.
So,
and the hologram effect parts is just a clear blue driver insert.
So for the video version of this, available at tfradio.net/Roku on our Roku channel or on Fire TV, etc. I've not been showing photos because there's so much news, but I do have to show that because I've completely forgotten about it.
Now, in fairness to that accessory piece, it looks good on the Jeep mode.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way they tried to shoehorn in a use for it in the robot mode that's offensive, basically.
It is offensive.
Yeah, the one time he used it in Atlantis Arise. Or no, Atlantis Attacks.
Yeah, who uses a soft top as a shield?
Yeah.
Well, it depends what you're defending against. Like
Apparently.
If somebody's spraying you with a hose, that's probably going to be effective enough.
Fire retardant foam. It would block that too.
And if it was from Arise Atlantis or whatever, they may well have been trying to spray water at Hound. In which case, he was all set.
We got our first look at MP48 Low Convoy, which was a surprise, I think, to some of us. Let's see here. We learned more at Tokyo Toy Show about King Poseidon. The G-Shock Nemesis Prime release of that Optimus Prime and other Masterpiece toys. We also got Siege items on display, including a Mega Supreme, Barricade, Impactor, and more.
Yeah, this was the first time we saw a production sample of Mirage, because previous to this, I think we just had CAD renders for the promotional images. So this was the week that we found out that Mirage was going to be like half clear plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was very pleased.
No. We got moving along, skipping ahead a couple things. Siege Ratchet and Blue Streak in hand. Photos of those. Let's see here. We learned about the Ecto 35 Proton Pack box. I don't think we knew about that then. Springer came out at retail at Walmart, and everyone was very happy.
I drove many miles to many Walmarts to try to find one over the course of many days.
I don't remember where I got mine from, honestly, but I know when I got it, like all let's see here, the Springer Universe? Not Universe. Which line was it?
E14
Generations.
Yeah, it was Generations, but which Generation series?
Thrilling 30, I believe.
Thrilling 30 or prior.
30.
It would have been a 2013 toy, which would have put it slightly ahead of that.
I was going to say Reveal the Shield, but it was after that.
Yes.
Yeah, so, but that release came out, and as much as I loved that toy at the time, I just love the new one so much more. It's the Springer I always wanted. In fact,
I love them equally.
If I'm not wrong, it's so G1 that I whitewashed my brain in thinking that it was the G1 toy. Just like
You don't remember the G1 toy very well, do you?
No, it's G1 toy's not good. But it's like it retroactively changed in my mind the G1 toy and made it a good toy and made it that.
So what you're saying is it ruined your childhood because at some point you went back and realized what the G1 Springer toy was and how much sadder you were as a child having that.
Yeah, it's like I guess I don't view like Generations toys in any way as a replacement for G1 toys or even a counterpart to it. It's just like a different interpretation. But for whatever reason, that toy completely like. I have no reason ever to own a G1. Even though I want to finish my G1 collection, like if my G1 collection was complete minus Springer, I would be okay.
Interesting.
I don't know. I just love that Springer toy. You know, in fact, if I had it to vote over again, thinking about it now, it might have been my toy of the year. I forgot how much I love that toy.
You can fix it in editing, Brian.
I could, but I'm not going to. Let's see here. So, Springer's out at Walmart. We learned, I guess, that the pre-sale through the network, the worst site ever, for the Masterpiece MP10G, the Ecto 35, Optimus Prime. It literally sold out in like a quarter of a second.
I think they had 10, probably.
Yeah, we assumed they had very low quantities to offer, and it was just a hype-building exercise.
It was horrible. It made me so angry.
That's all right. I'm sure they'll never make that mistake again.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, they learned their lesson after the first time, certainly.
They did it again. So, they did it again, of course, but it was for something nobody wanted.
Except it still sold out immediately.
Yes, but I wanted it. I will never have it now. Let's see here.
I think Super 7's website sold that Def Jam Soundwave later, but it also sold out immediately.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to July. Transformers 35th Anniversary Supreme Commander Convoy box revealed.
Oh, yeah, so this was the thing they were trying to crowdfund.
Canceled, didn't it?
The crowdfunding didn't work.
Yes.
They didn't their number. So they were trying to crowdfund basically a box of print materials and stuff like that, and this weird Optimus Prime trophy figure. It was the G1 Optimus Prime cab robot, fresh off of the Walmart use of the mold. It was all gold, and it was mounted to a trophy pedestal. You couldn't take it off of there, but you could still transform the toy mostly into truck mode somehow. But yeah, the most important thing is it was going to have reprints of like the Stars mailers and some of that material, which is almost impossible to get in good condition vintage. So a lot of people were excited on that basis, but they needed a crowdfunding level to hit, and it never got there. So back into the vault it all goes.
So this Optimus Prime, though, I think it was available for pre-order through like Big Bad Toy Store. I don't think it counted toward the vote, though.
Oh, no, probably.
But I had it pre-ordered and it was canceled, so I was very sad about that. Let's see here. So similarly, though, also available, the 35th anniversary Convoy in Cybertron Optimus Prime set, which is that same cab, but with Studio Series 38 Optimus Prime, both in G1 style packaging.
And this actually did get made. I think it came out this month, actually, in Japan.
Yeah, I haven't received mine yet, so I think it was supposed to come out in December. It probably did. I don't know that.
I've seen some photos on the Asian Facebook groups where people actually do have them in hand, so they are shipping out. So yours will probably come someday.
Yeah, I have so many pre-orders. So many things that haven't come through yet.
I think the only outstanding pre-orders I have left are the Seacons.
Fourth quarter 2019. Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, so we got our first look at the Orthia Combiner. So that's something.
Yeah, so this was the first time we got to see Lancer, which those early pictures were not flattering because the cell phone cameras and what have you were not really processing that orange very friendly.
No.
I thought there's a photo of Orthia with this. No, it's just the Lancer photo, and it is not yet. Like you said, it's not a flattering photo.
No, it's really not. Which is too bad too, because like the figure itself in person or with the colors accurately represented actually turned out really nice.
I just realized I don't have Orthia combined. Does anybody?
I don't think I ever combined mine.
I did, and a problem I have with mine is that none of the foot sockets are particularly strong on any of the four.
I like the look of it.
Yeah, I do too, but yeah, keeping the feet on that is kind of difficult.
I need to set that.
Mine works quite well. They hold on very snugly.
I managed to get like the four worst ones then, because like I said, none of them want to keep their feet on, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, I was so glad. I was so glad when Green Light and Lancer just became a thing. That more of those weird things that should never have ever gotten toys.
Yeah, you're right.
We got photos of, again, thanks to Ant at tfu.info for getting this for me, the Super 7 Cyborg Megatron exclusive, which is like the anatomical Megatron model.
Visible Megatron.
Yeah, that comes in the really awesome box that it's like the grid, the 80s grid from Transformers. It just looks amazing. And there's there's a window at the top that light can shine down through, and it's beautiful.
I feel like there's like 3 or 4 variations of this by now too. Like Super 7 got some mileage out of their Super Cyborg Megatron.
Yeah, they sure did. Also announced, let's see here, the Transformers to manga that Viz Entertainment would be releasing. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are now out for pre-order.
I want to say Volume 1 should be out soon.
Yeah.
February or March?
I can't wait.
I can't remember. Yeah, I have them both pre-ordered. I'm really excited about getting those.
Me too. I'm super excited about that. And something in July was announced. The Cookie Monster from HasLab.
Diecast was so excited when he learned about this that he could barely contain his enthusiasm.
You guys were on the way to TFCon,
and he a T-shirt for it.
Yes, and he sent, I can't remember if it was an angry text or an angry voicemail that I just couldn't make out. He was just so angry about the Cookie Monster.
we had just gotten on the interstate and he was driving. I didn't even want to tell him about it.
Oh, I think it was a voicemail because I couldn't hear you guys over the Bluetooth.
He tried to call you at one point.
It was so bad I couldn't tell you two apart. It was the Bluetooth connection was that bad.
Wow.
But, yeah, I know, but it was he was so angry. But then what? Even a week later when Unicron was announced?
It was on the way back from TFCon. We had just crossed the border back into the States.
Yeah, so Unicron, we should probably just talk about this in one go. Just for people, for those who weren't there, welcome to Transformers. Unicron went up for sale on HasLab. Where they had to get what was 8,000? Was that the 8,000 was the goal, if I remember right?
I think so. 8,000 units at $600 a piece.
Yeah, which is it's a high threshold. It's 5,000 for the Star Wars barge, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, at a lower unit price.
Yeah, it was 29 pounds or 29 inches tall and 19 pounds. Whatever. It's massive.
I think so.
And whenever something like this happens, there's opinions come from both sides. There's just some people are happy. Some people thought it was a money grab from Hasbro, and maybe they're both right. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought both.
Yeah, but basically it came. They had 35 days, 40 days to meet its goal, and it did not look like it was going to make it.
Oh, it wasn't going to make it.
I think it would have.
I think it would have if they would have let it go.
Diecast and I had to bet on whether or not it was going to go, and if it didn't, he was going to get a tattoo of Unicron. Then he's going to have like the number of backers on it. And if it did, he's going to get, he calls it backed, the Turtler repainted this Unicron. I can't wait to get that done. And I am looking forward to it. I need photos of it since it's going to live with him. I need photos of it. Maybe we'll do 2 of them. I guess maybe not. But yeah.
It'd be an expensive proposition at that point.
Yeah. The Hasbro extended the date by 30 days or something like that.
Ooh.
Or close to it.
And it
Might have been 40.
They added a few weeks onto it.
And
Yeah.
even up until the last couple of days, it was still iffy if it was going to back. Then all of a sudden, it just started collecting backers. I guess that was because that coincided with New York Comic Con, and you had influencers tweeting about it and blogging about it and posting about it and taking photos with it at New York Comic Con. And
you could totally say that it started picking up backers at a completely unbelievable pace in that last 48 hours it had to meet its funding or be canceled forever.
Some people still are under the conspiracy theory that the numbers were artificially inflated.
If it had been close, I would believe that, but it went way over.
If it had been close, I wouldn't have believed it.
Yeah.
I think there may be some fudging there. I don't think that any fudging in it is an illegitimate number. I think that there might have been some creative accounting. Because again, there's being a publicly traded company, Hasbro has to have abide by a code of ethics. So there may be something to stretch it a little bit, but I don't think there's any out and out like fabrication or lies or falsehoods. So I think that it really did exceed the number. I think it somehow exceeded it by whatever, but they probably started to let but outlets that aren't necessarily what you would call like a standard fan buy it or back it.
I maintain that I think once it got close enough to where it was actually believable that this was going to happen, people started ordering extras to flip on the secondary market.
I agree with that too. I think that happened
probably.
too. And we know that a lot of people just didn't want to back it if it wasn't going to fund.
Yeah. For some reason, because they don't understand how crowdfunding works.
Exactly.
So, for most of that 3-ish week extension, it was losing as many backers per day as it was getting on average.
It was bad.
It was not until the last weekend that the funding was available that it actually started turning and going. And I don't think we have an exact number that it finished at, but it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 11 to 12,000.
Yeah, it was like 11. I think it was something around 11.
Yeah, they had to turn off the counter because Diecast kept habitually checking.
Yeah, he was stressing their database.
Yeah. But yeah, so
was going down all the time.
So we just shared like a month's worth of news. So let's, I guess, sort of catch back up with
it
the
felt
other
like
things.
so much longer.
Yeah, I know, right? So at preview night, Hasbro showed off Rung, which was that the first time we learned about Rung?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, Rat Bat, the Battle Squad set, Astro Train and more. There were photos of Unicron at SDCC. We got to see the Refractor set that was coming out. We got official images of the 35th anniversary Optimus Prime, Megatron, Blue Streak, and Sound Blaster, as well as some G1 reissue stuff, which I guess that was what, the Astro Train?
No, that was Soundwave still.
That was still Soundwave. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't actually get to see Astro Train in package or anything like that until yesterday.
Huh, okay. Oh, yeah, when it showed up at the store.
When somebody found it in a store. Yeah.
And then they got the UPC number off of there, and the product page on Walmart's website was able to be backtracked from it.
Oh, cool. I need to check that out.
It's not available for purchase right now.
Okay.
So never mind.
Let's see here. We saw the Rainmaker set. That was something that popped up, as well as the Micromaster 10-pack set, both Target exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Galactic Man Shockwave was announced. That's awesome. That popped up.
That's another one of those things, like me and Matt keep talking about, has no
Yeah.
right to exist and really
No.
shouldn't.
And
Mhm.
so close to making my list for the
Yeah.
year, but
Still in July, that's when the reissue Soundwave and cassette 2-pack started arriving in U.S. stores. That was a challenge to find those. We got photos of Siege Ratchet, which would be the Walgreens exclusive. Takara Tomy Mall started doing their Unicron campaign. Let's see here. Big Convoy was shown off at Wonderfest. King Poseidon.
Yeah, that's the third big convoy reissue that you were alluding to earlier.
With the
Matrix Buster.
Matrix Buster, yeah.
So this is the toy accurate reissue of Big Convoy. The first Encore Big Convoy was redecoed to look more like the cartoon. Then there was the second one, which was the blue Big Convoy, based on a Lucky Draw toy from way back when.
At Wonderfest, King Poseidon and the select Seacons were also on display, as well as
I think is the first time we saw all of them.
Yeah. Lao Convoy, Unicron, a lot of stuff was shown off at Wonderfest. Which Unicron was shown off? Because there's 3 different prototypes that were out.
So they had an unspecified number of single mode prototypes, both robot and planet mode. Then there was one prototype that could transform, and they kept shipping that back and forth depending where they had to demonstrate that. But they had that at New York also, I think, and they actually took it out of sight of the guests they had
transform it?
because they were afraid that it was going to break.
Yeah.
That fragile that prototype was.
Let's see here. So many toys came out that this year. It's easy to forget them all. ACG 2019, Transformer Siege, Power Dashers, Jet and Drill types, first look. I mean, that.
So those, as far as I can tell, they were not supposed to be on display when those were out at that show, because they appeared in photographs or they appeared in a video, and then there were screenshots of that from one source, and then all the coverage subsequent of ACG 2019 did not have them there at all. So we saw those before they were announced or before we had names officially attached to them.
So crazy.
I know.
We got our first looks at the Nightbird retool of Siege Chromia. Kind of disappointing toy.
Yeah.
If I had, I mean, obviously with the Takara reissue, the Legends toy came out.
Have that be different.
Yeah, if that hadn't been a thing, it would be different. Let's see here. We got official images of Rumble, Rat Bat, and more. Also in July and August, we got the Unicron transformation video, complete with, that's the one that he was dressed in the tux, right?
And with the sunglasses
yeah,
on,
so crazy. Okay, so this is something that interests me because there have been at least 3 globally, maybe more, at least 3 Transformers kids meals offerings. Cyberverse toys coming to Burger King. That's where I actually got my first Impossible Whopper. When my local Burger King was being renovated, so I had to go to a neighboring Burger King in another town, and I got the Impossible Whopper and that some of those Cyberverse toys.
Was that near the sinkhole?
No. That's I wouldn't even call that neighboring. That one's really that's a trek. That's at least an hour away.
For more on Wilkes Sinkhole, see the Happy Daily on BrianKilby.com.
Yes. Let's see here. So we got new images of Studio Series Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Soundwave, RC, Chromia, and Alita 1. We got unboxing videos or video of unboxing.
No, this is the unboxing toy convention, which was held in Mexico. But I can understand confusion.
Wasn't there an unboxing though in Canada as a convention, like just showing off some Studio Series stuff?
Well, that might have been at Fan Expo Canada.
I thought there was some. Yeah, so yes, the unboxing. Yeah, but there's something else. Hasbro, like again, with Hasbro not having an official convention this year, especially, they have had a lot of appearances at conventions across the globe.
Yeah, I mean, I would say their international convention appearances have been higher profile than they have in past years.
And I'm thinking of the unboxing from New York Comic Con, actually.
Oh, yeah, where people got to keep the toys
they got to unbox the Siege stuff. That's what I was thinking of. Let's see here. More Generation Select Seacons pre-order page went up onto Karatomi Mall.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. MP48 Live Convoy pricing and release date confirmed. Gosh, I've honestly forgotten when that's even coming out.
Have you ever think?
Okay, for 22,000-ish yen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a masterpiece in this day and age, so it's expensive.
Yeah. Let's see here. Video of Unicron robot mode. Blue streak and hand photos. Oh, first look at Siege Hotshot.
Blue Streak ended up looking pretty good.
Blue streak looks great, but a toy that I was extremely surprised by loving so much was Hotshot. Especially considering...
I don't know why you were so surprised, though, because you knew that Hound mold was really good, and the Hotshot deco is so nice.
The Hotshot deco was great. The new head was nice, but looking at it in photos, I just didn't see Hotshot. But having it in hand, it's like, I don't care. I love this so much. Let's see here. What else?
It's worth rewinding back to December of last year, where we got the first look at the Siege packaging, or it might have even been before, probably a little bit earlier even. And we saw Hound's box for the first time, and the box art was based on the Hotshot retool rather than Hound's actual sculpt. So we knew about Hotshot before the Siege line even started.
Yeah. So Squirtimus Prime, toys invading Japan, McDonald's. But it's the Optimus Prime with the squirting. Yeah, it's awesome. And thanks again to J.R. Hiley for sending me those. You're my hero. That was awesome. Let's see here. What else do we have going on in August? Let's see here.
We got pictures of the best Siege toy of the year.
Aragon?
No, you ass.
Spinister, yeah.
Yes.
Aragon ended up being okay, I guess.
It's the cog mold. It's fine.
But yes, Spinister. Gosh, it seems like that happened earlier, but I guess not. It's autocorrect. Whoever wrote it as Spinster.
Probably not me.
Let's see here. So we learned about Spinister. Got photos of Spinister in August. I've even forgot what this was. The 35th anniversary Transformers Fight Super Robot Sonic Festival in 2019.
Yeah. So I forgot this happened. This it was a little event in Akihabara in Japan, but the main thrust of it was kind of a Beast Wars second celebratory thing, and it had on display the Lucky Draw Leo Convoy in the red and black and yellow, which is looks nice. barely documented anywhere. So this is probably the best photos that there have ever been of this Lucky Draw. That was the main point of interest for this story. Just a Lucky Draw that most people didn't know existed.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Beautiful.
We learned also in August that Refractor was going to be a HasCon exclusive had HasCon happened, which it didn't. Hasbro. We learned that Hasbro is going to remove plastic from toy packaging in 2020. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's an effort that's going to run over the course of a couple of years, so we're probably not going to see a major change immediately.
Yeah, we've already seen the packaging for the first, round of Earthrise, and the plastic is still present.
Let's see here. We got in-hand images of Mega Supreme. Still not out yet.
At some point along the way, though, we found out that Omega Supreme's hips had been retooled.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But, I don't know when exactly we caught that, because, somebody mentioned it one day, and I went and looked at old photos and then recent ones, that's oh, hey, they are different. Yeah. Not that it really amounted to anything important, but that's a thing that happened.
Let's see here. We learned that Fan Expo Canada Q&A resolved why Walmart reissue Optimus Prime didn't have the trailer. That's because the trailer, the mold.
Spoilers, the mold is not holding up these days.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's the party line. I'm not sure that I 100% believe that's why it wasn't included. I think price point was more of a concern than mold vitality.
But it's also been re-released in some former fashion or planned to be released in Japan as well. Sans trailer.
Yeah, but I still am not sure I believe entirely that that's the whole reason, because if they wanted to, they could probably revitalize that without it being too prohibitive.
I agree. More photos, classic animation, Optimus and Megatron, as well as Astrotrain, Spinister, and Crosshairs. We're in September now. Generation Select Econs Wave 2. We have the photos and release date.
And they are beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
So beautiful.
New photos of Beast Wars Neo Big Convoy Matrix Buster version. I can't wait to get that. A big surprise for me was MP38 Plus, which is Burning Convoy. And,
yeah, the clear red redeco of Beast Wars Optimus Primal.
Yeah, except it's colored wrong. We didn't have photos as of
Yeah,
yet.
the head colored wrong.
Yeah,
So close.
so close.
Some masterpiece.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, you weren't going to buy it anyway. What are you even talking about?
No, I just enjoy talking trash about Beast Wars any chance I get.
Siege Jetfire started showing up at Walmart for $45.
Yeah,
Oh man, is it worth
like
that?
3 weeks after they first started showing up at Walmart.
It's crazy, but that was
Give that much of a chance.
no. Let's see here. We actually got images of Burning Convoy. We learned how sad that ended up being. I'm still getting it. We got Cromar first sightings and in photos.
Yeah, because they started selling them at Toys R Us Canada.
Yeah, weird. We learned of the Karatomi Mall release of Nemesis Prime, which I'd completely forgotten about until I was doing show notes. I'm like, crap, do I have that? And I'm like, oh wait, it doesn't come out till March. And I don't remember if I backed it or not. I think I did.
It's not a matter of backing. I mean,
pre-ordering it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it. I need to double check.
oddly, that didn't turn up on Hasbro Pulse for pre-order.
Did it not?
No.
Weird.
Yeah.
So if you have that on pre-order, you have it from Big Bad or somewhere.
Yeah, I'm double checking.
Of course you are.
Of course I am, because I need to make sure I have that.
It's looking, but like, and I made the same point when this first came up. Like, with the power of the Primes, Nemesis Prime, I think I probably have all the Nemesis Prime I need for a while. Like, realistically, that should be the last Nemesis Prime I need until they do something like remarkable again, like Power of the Primes Nemesis Prime. And I'm mostly just talking to fill the space while you check your pre-orders.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Of course, I've ruined it now by explaining what I'm doing, but that's the thought that counts.
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't have it through Big Bad, so, and I don't know if I. Oh yeah, I do have it through. TF Source. So, worried for a second that I wasn't going to get it. Okay. Thank you, Chris. You're awesome. So, Astrotrain started shipping around this time.
Well, Astrotrain became available
Siege Astrotrain.
in Vietnam, where it's manufactured. So
Yeah.
draw your conclusions.
Bumblebee Masterpiece version 2.0 was delayed. It's
Not long enough.
not long enough.
Should have been canceled instead.
It was
Yeah.
not a good year for getting masterpieces out on time, because like MP43 was delayed from its, I think, originally January release date to March. MP44 was delayed from July to August. Then Bumblebee and Black Arachne were both delayed a month each.
Yeah.
Hound is the only one, I think, this year that wasn't like a sub number that ended up coming out when it was supposed to.
The let's see here. We learned that the Hasbro panel would reveal the new product line
At New York Comic Con.
at New York Comic Con, and the Super Cyborg Megatron X-Ray Edition, which is the one I was talking about before, which is the clear version that Ant picked up for me, not the
Galvatron reformatting.
the
version.
Galvatron reformatting. Yeah, which is beautiful. So,
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was talking about before. It's the same mold. It's just different deco of
Yeah,
it. Let's see here, October. So at New York,
but that's really a special one.
yeah, New York Comic Con, or was this maybe before? We got our first images of Starscream and Zarak from.
So this was the live stream event that they do at New York. So it was John Warden and Ben Montano on the main stage, and they brought out some of the new toys. You know, they've done this for the last few years. That's where we first saw Omega Supreme's tank, Predaking's wings, I think, and what was the one before that? We saw Triptychon's leg. That was the first one they did. So what they brought out this time was the Zarok component of Scorponok, and they also had Earthrise Starscream, which was our first look at that. And fortunately, this year, unlike last year, the live stream worked, so I was able to capture that and get the screenshots.
Cool. We learned everything about Earthrise as much as we could. That's one thing we learned, that there's going to be a really awesome looking Optimus Prime that a lot of people are calling basically Masterpiece Light in a lot of ways, because it's just it's so just, as far as the Generations release goes, it's such a nice looking version of Optimus Prime.
The only problem with it, the hands are gray.
Maybe.
Or blue. or gray. Or possibly blue.
And the eyes might be yellow, or they might not.
Yeah. We'll figure that out. We saw Wheeljack, Starscream. Let's see here. What else? Grapple. Wait, is there another Astrotrain? What is this?
So Astrotrain is going to reship as one of the Wave 1 Earthrise leaders. It's going to be an Earthrise packaging.
It will be an Earthrise. I didn't even realize that. So it's going to be. Will it be any different in any other way that we?
No, John Warden was asked about that during the reveal event, and his explanation, which makes a lot of sense, they are keeping it exactly the same as the Siege version because essentially they can't control which parts of the production go into which packaging specifically. So they wouldn't be able to say for sure that all the Siege ones would have the same equivalent deco, or that all the Earthrise ones would be, exactly the same. So they're keeping the run consistent for the entire use in both lines. To make sure that everybody gets the same toy.
Has that ever happened?
Energon Unicron?
Yeah, I was going to say, I seem to remember there were a couple of things that carried over into Energon that the recolor did not hit at the same time as the packaging change. Unicron, and I want to say there was another.
I'm not sure if there was another one, but Energon Unicron is a really good example of that, because initially the Energon package Unicrons were just Armada Unicrons.
I didn't realize that.
A little bit later that the dark and green version was shipping out.
Yeah,
which
I do regret not getting that from KB.
It caused a lot of problems for people because a lot of places got one shipment of Energon Unicron and just sat on them because it was the same toy in different packaging and they were not selling. So a lot of people didn't really get an opportunity to get the proper Energon redeco. And Rob, what you may be thinking of with the other Energon stuff is that some of the initial waves, the initial price point waves, had Armada toy recolors, and the packaging still showed Armada decos.
I bet you're right.
Because those redecos were supposed to be tail end Armada, and there was not time to get them out or to change over the packaging assets when they were ported over to Energon instead.
Yeah, I recall weird things would happen with late series items that might get moved over to another line. Something what was a couple things maybe from Beast Machines got moved over to Robots in Disguise or
yeah. So the Megabolt Megatron became a Robots in Disguise KB exclusive. Air Attack Optimus Primal became a Toys R Us exclusive in Robots in Disguise packaging.
But I just don't recall any. I didn't recall the Unicron thing. I didn't even know that happened with that first release of the Energon version. So this is just so weird to me.
Probably did and have forgotten since. I just have total recall of all things unimportant.
Yeah, there you go. It was a long time ago. Let's see.
There's your Transformers collecting history lesson for the year.
Yeah, the year. Actually, I guess this will be the start of the year. So hopefully everybody will remember that into 2021. Let's see here. Unicron.
No, we got the pictures of the Seacon's third wave, which gave us our first good look at Tentakill, which turned out to be amazing.
Yes,
because they made Tentakill out of the
Lancer green
Racer
Lancer green light. Yeah,
but
and they did an amazing job with it.
but they didn't actually retool the toy. They just used that engineering and made a completely new non-car toy out of it. It's a tremendous effort and like really impressive, and it's probably going to be big powered all over again.
Yeah, they thought way outside of the box when they
when you say they didn't retool, they didn't retool.
I am appreciative of that, and oh man, I'm looking so forward to these, and I hope it's not big powered all over again.
We have until March to wait for the last of them.
There's new toolings for the outer shell, but they didn't retool the inner robot.
So, okay, Tentakill might use like the backpack piece that was seen on Moonracer, Lancer, etc. Every single other part on Tentakill is brand new.
Yeah.
100% different sculpting. And even that backpack piece might be different, but
yeah, like the thighs might be unchanged. Maybe.
Maybe, but that's iffy. It's like at least 95% a new toy using identical engineering to make a completely different alt mode. It's pretty cool when you're a toy engineering nerd like me.
Yeah, it's pretty
and that's
remarkable.
why I believe the point.
Let's see here. So Unicron, we already talked about it, but past its crowdfunding threshold. Congratulations, Diecast.
Woohoo! And many people went deep into debt.
Yeah. There were more new studio series, product listings, Bumblebee movie, Wreckers, and more. Wreckers just being that at that point, it was just Roadbuster, right? Yeah.
I think I titled that as Wreckers plural because, like, if they're doing one, the other one will be coming.
I'm holding out for the Leadfoot. Yeah. I really need that one.
Yeah, I mean, all three are going to happen. There's no way that they won't unless Studio Series just completely collapses after Devastator's released.
Hopefully after Devastator's released.
So in October, the 35th anniversary toys, the end cap, started appearing in U.S. Walmart stores. I
never saw that in any of my local-ish Walmarts.
Nor did I.
The only end cap that I saw was not used as an end cap. It had been put in an aisle, just set on like a shelf.
Yeah.
But yeah, my local Walmart never got that. And the only 35th anniversary toy my Walmart actually has looks like it was a return because someone took that original Voyager Megatron and put it into that box and returned it to my Walmart.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the only one of these toys I wanted was Blue Streak, which I was able to get a pre-order for on the website like the day they went up. And sorry, Don, you can go now.
I got Sound Blaster on pre-order, but yeah, go ahead, Don.
No, it looked like a lot of the stores, when they had their seasonal section up front, a lot of the stores put that display up there. And I tweeted out that if you were trying to find that display of the 35th anniversary figures, it wasn't actually in the toy department. It was up in that seasonal section, which may be something to keep our eyes on if there's more Walmart exclusives. If they do a seasonal section, it maybe wound up being up there as well.
Cool.
Yeah, fortunately, that didn't work out in my case. I was checking BrickSeek, too, for the product codes, and, like, they would show up in stock at some that were, like, quite a distance away, so I know that process was working, but none of the ones within, like, 40 miles of me ever got any inventory of those. But again, fortunately, I got the one I wanted, but, man, that would have been, like, super frustrating for me otherwise.
So it took them a while, but Hasbro Pulse finally got in the Wave 3 of the Seacons in.
It was about 8 to 10 days to get pre-orders in on that, where with the previous two waves, Hasbro Pulse had their orders open within like 48 hours of Takara Tomy in their pre-order period. I think, honestly, someone at Hasbro Pulse forgot to flip the switch.
Possibly. Also in late October, Studio Series Shockwave, first-in-hand photos of the Leader Class toy.
The most thing you can say about that is it's painted really nicely.
Yeah. So the Raiden Project, we learned that at the Railway Story in the Sky exhibit, there would be a reveal about Raiden. We assumed at that time it would just be like, when I say just be, I mean, it'd still be a big deal, but a reissue of the G1 toy.
Which I'm still hoping for at some point.
Yeah, me too.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah. November, again, some of these items may be from late October, but this is how we recorded them. More G1 reaction official images. The also Transformers Earthrise Optimus Prime, new leaked pictures with deco changes. I guess that was, what color were the hands that time?
Blue.
We learned that the Super 7 Def Jam Soundwave would be offered through Network, again sold out like immediately.
Oops.
Something
If you could get your orders in,
Yeah.
if you could get the app to work.
the Bump of Chicken cross Transformers Sonic Blue Bumble and Exosuit Chama limited edition
Chama.
Bumblebee. We learned about that. God, that went quick.
I still want that.
Yeah, me too.
Somehow.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
wish that weren't so
someday.
expensive.
Yeah, if you have $100 to $150, you can probably get you one of those.
Oh, I think
For
it's
a
more than that.
Legends class Bumblebee.
It's
Yeah.
more than that.
Mold.
I would drop 100 for it. I think it was more.
Depends on where it came from. When pre-orders were active from like U.S. retailers, it was $100, but they quickly sold out. So now
Yeah.
it's probably closer to 150 or more.
Yeah,
Oh.
Big Bad Toy Store had pre-orders available for about 15 minutes, which I would assume they were only able to secure a very, very small quantity of them.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense because primarily these were to be sold at Bump of Chicken's concerts, like at 2 stops on a concert tour. And then anything that was left over after that would be sold online on their web store. And the inventory they had at their live events sold out each time. And whatever they had allocated for their website also sold out really quickly. So, like, even in Japan, it was very limited opportunity to get one of these.
So let me just say this. I was mistaken.
Yeah.
And let's see here.
Yeah, there's one on eBay for about 105 shipped.
There was one for $106.98 shipped a minute ago. Let's see here. Moving along.
The Radio Free Cybertron.
Listing is ended. What a surprise.
Yeah, Earthrise leak. Rumored Earthrise Taobao leak reveals Commander Skylink's Voyager's Quintesson, Deluxe Quintessa, and more. So at least part of that is probably that Cyberverse set that we learned about later, but we'll get into that.
So I'm not, since we're talking about this, I'm not convinced that it is, because we got another round of leaks that once again mentioned an Earthrise Voyager Quintesson after this Cyberverse thing was found. And I have a feeling that it was just one of those things of, they do sometimes develop these things for both the generations and the current line in parallel lately. And I have a feeling that the first report that it looked like something from Cyberverse is because someone had heard about the Earthrise Quintesson and then seen the Cyberverse Quintesson. I think we may still have an Earthrise Quintesson coming, because
I
agree.
Hopefully.
Because like the allegedly in-hand report we had about that Quintesson before any official word came about Quintesson toys was that it did not transform, had very limited articulation, and I think there was even mention of the, bop it on the head to make the face change thing.
Bop it.
All sounds like the Cyberverse toy. So hopefully it is just confusion over which product they had, and Generations one will be a little bit more involved.
My dream of 5 Titan Masters in a Quintesson body is not quite dead yet.
That would be great.
I'm sorry, that is dead as much as I would like it to be real.
Great. Let's see here. So new reveals from Reaction, Prowl, Blitzwing, Blaster, Reflector, Perceptor, Dirge, and more coming May 2020. New stock photos of Earthrise Optimus Prime.
The hands are gray again.
Good lord.
We haven't even gotten into the Takara Tell Me one yet.
I think the eyes are blue now.
Are we gonna have to buy like the Takara version and the Hasbro version?
No, it's a little more complicated than that. I don't know if we even have that.
I don't.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and explain this. So at New York, the first, actually before that, when Screen Rant or whoever had the preview reveal for the Earthrise stuff, there was promo renders of the Earthrise Optimus, which had blue hands, yellow eyes, and blue insides of the lower legs. At the event in New York, it was then yellow eyes, gray hands, and gray panels inside the legs. Then we saw at some point through Dengeki Hobby first, I think, Takara Tomi's photo sample of that, which had some of the joints in the arms, now blue plastic, and otherwise had the gray hands and I think blue eyes. And it also had a slightly different tooling to the trailer hitch part. It split differently between the legs. Then we had the in-hand leak sample ones, which had the painted blue hands, blue eyes, and also a little bit more paint on the pelvis, and also the gray inner panels on the lower legs. And that's the one that's actually going to be released. But like Takara Tomy had a third entirely different variant for reasons unknown. They probably had an earlier production sample from the factory that they were using for their publicity photos. But the colors were the most wrong on that one. But all these different things and seeing them in different sequences made a lot of confusion in the last couple months for what we were actually going to be getting.
So, just for the record, again, what color will the hands be when I buy this toy?
Blue, but they will be painted blue.
Oh, okay. I'll live with that because I can't live with that.
But the eyes will also be blue instead of yellow.
I can live with I don't care.
Okay. I was kind of happy with the yellow eyes when we saw that because we don't get that very often.
No, we don't.
But yes, as you say, I can live with it.
Siege Astro Train started to be cited in the U.S. Wave 5 started hitting store shelves.
And amazing we find Spinister, Crosshairs, and Astro Train all in one go at my local Walmart pretty early in the process, which almost never happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I spent a lot of money that day.
Transformers in Asia, we got the first look at the toys from China. Those were that's like the 3-pack of Legend scale toys. Still want that, but it's not like the thing I want the most. Maybe the only third-party item we talked about, that we're talking about tonight, which is the Fantabi Master Builder MB12 Athena, color images of the MP style, not Minerva figure. That's a good deal. I'm looking forward to that. I do have that pre-ordered.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
I'd like
MP,
duration scaled, but
yeah. MP49 Black Convoy Nemesis Prime for Takara Tomy revealed. And that's what, without the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that still costs 24,000 yen
It's
just for the camera bot.
Yeah. Moving into December, Takara Tomy announces Masterpiece Raiden Project. Oh my god. So just check out a recent episode of RFC. We go into a lot of detail about that.
Lots of speculation as to the true nature of what this will be.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Winter Wonderfest is very near. I believe that's going to be in January. So we will almost certainly actually see something to do with this at that point.
Black Convoy, new stock photos and release date. Again, 24,000 yen, no trailer.
Or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right up in that price range.
We get the trailer to Transformers in Asia on Facebook. It looks to be very Cyberverse. Are they reusing assets from Cyberverse?
Looks very much like it, yes.
I would say so.
They should be. So
Cyberverse is using essentially the evergreen or very close to it design style. So it would make sense if they're trying to keep some brand consistency there.
So we got the Transformers Neja figure on Weibo. What's her name? She's the goddess character.
Neja?
Neja.
That's her name is Neja. Okay, so
yeah.
So the series is about her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as we know.
So it looks to me to be the toy itself. It's kind of like a what?
A Brain Master.
It's like a Brain Master, but it doesn't go up. She just rests in the body, kind of like the Ultra Magnus figure.
A mech.
Yeah, like a mech
Yeah.
or the Minimus Ambus Ultra Magnus figure from a few years back. But the
Yeah.
toy itself, to me, the style looks to be very like Cybertron.
Cyberverse.
What?
Like Cyberverse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the design or the engineering looks to me to be Cyberverse. The car mode looks to me to be like sort of squat and like a Cybertron toy, like a Cybertron car to me. But that's just sort of.
For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Generations Drift. Just something about the style of it. Couldn't
robot
tell you
mode,
why.
For like, gosh, I don't know. Just it's interesting. I want to get my hands on it.
I kind of do too.
I really need
Yeah.
that. Diecast, help make that happen.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Let's see here. Studio Series Roadbuster.
Seizes it.
What?
I said it will be a problem if Custom seizes it.
Yeah, it's true.
Hmm.
Studio Series Roadbuster, Jet Shatter, Jeep Bumblebee, official details, and high-res images. Omega Supreme showed up at the Hasbro official warehouse sale, the first one ever, for $20.
That is the best deluxe figure you will ever buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am legit jealous of anybody who managed to get a hold of one of these for this price.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations.
and you know what? If I would have known about it earlier, I probably could have gone.
That's
Dang.
absolutely driving distance for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours.
It's a trip, but you can do it.
Yeah. That Cyberverse Quintesson Invasion 3-pack was revealed that we talked about. We learned also a couple weeks ago or last week that as we are now in December, and this is technically being recorded in December, that the King Poseidon Perfect Mode set, which is basically they're just selling the 6 individual toys, and that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
No fancy boxes. It's
No.
just a bundle.
It's not the God Jinrai, screw you set like from Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Don frowns and shakes his head.
We got photos
Don had
of
feelings about that.
MP47 Hound, and it looks much better than people had given it, credit for to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that IDW is doing a Transformers versus the Terminator comic with John Barber and Alex Milne. Just something that just
And
popped up.
since we didn't,
Go ahead.
since we didn't mention as the year went on, I just wanted to say the Transformers Ghostbusters crossover comic was actually quite good. I enjoyed that.
I need to check it out. Is there a collected version available? It's actually IDW discounts their stuff on Comixology like after 2 months. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's been collected yet, but it's by the regular team that does the Ghostbusters comics, and they do an excellent job. So yeah, it's worth checking out if you haven't seen it yet.
I mean, the primary thing I can say in its favor versus the regular ongoing Transformers comic now is that there's individual character voices.
Yes, and it has a sense of humor.
nice.
Yeah.
Something that we'll probably talk about next week. I'll collect some stuff that we don't cover during sort of like the break from when we're recording this to when episode 656 will be posted. There is a Cyberverse Sharkticons Attack Pack gift set that's been found at retail, which includes
So Matt,
Tiny turbo changer Sharkticons, and they are adorable.
they are
I need them.
How
well,
many of these sets
Many of
will you
them.
buy?
As many as I see. I don't know. It depends. What's this going to cost?
$20.
$20.
That's troop buildable.
It is, and it comes with that Rodimus Prime or Hot Rod.
Nothing's perfect.
Fusion Flame Hot Rod.
I can give that my 7-year-old would like that.
Sacrifices can be made.
Is that Hot Rod Deco based off of something? It looks
Yeah,
familiar.
Hot Rod.
I'm sorry, what?
That's probably based on movie Hot Rod.
Oh,
I love how your enthusiasm just completely fell apart when you realized that.
mm-hmm.
New Earthrise product listings found. Okay, so if I'd read this, probably would have changed my opinion on something we talked about a minute ago, I guess.
Okay.
So Battle Masters. So Rung is going to be interesting. So that's another instance of that.
Well, and
Good.
Smash
Maybe I'll
Down-
be able to find one.
Smash reshipping in Battle Masters Wave 1. So, like, Wave 1 of Earthrise is going to have Sound Barrier, the flooring panel Battle Master, and
plank.
Smash. That's the two Battle Masters that are going to be supposedly shipping, if anybody's still going to be carrying that price point at that point.
What else is in this that's of note?
I wonder if Slitherfang is just going to be like a series of panels shaped kind of like a snake.
Oh,
Like,
I hope it
Snake
just
that converts the driveway and back. That'd be
I
great.
hope it just straightens out into a stick.
Uh-huh.
So,
Like you could have your Serpentor throw it at Duke, Brian.
oh,
I mean, that's sort of what I was expecting, though, is that it would be like a snaky robot that turns into basically like a pole arm,
spear.
a pickaxe, or a pickaxe kind of thing.
I'm going to go with snake and driveway. That's my
No,
guess.
I like where you're coming from conceptually on that. Because I would sort of like the Earthrise Battle Masters to all be like, floors and flooring accessories.
Yeah.
I'm
Ultimately,
kinda
it's a pole arm that can also double as a street light to go with this big like world setup that they're doing.
Oh, he can hang out with Soundwave.
Uh-huh.
Don?
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe they'll be a little sneaky and have some kind of Cobra theme going on, a design style or a coloring or something like that. So it's sort of like he's a snake and he's got these Cobra markings, or he'll have something that relates to that, or he'll be colored like a Python patrol vehicle or something
Ooh,
like
nice.
that.
Any of that being the case, because John Warden came from GI Joe before he was working on Transformers.
So
Yeah.
also Runabuck, Sunstreaker, let's see, Runamuck, Sunstreaker, Trailbreaker, and Fast Track. Did we know about Fast Track before this?
No, we
No.
didn't. And technically, we didn't know about Trailbreaker either, except by extrapolation.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what tells us is there is speculation that Trailbreaker would probably be the Walgreens toy for the coming year, because it just kind of follows theme and makes sense. But it looks like, since this is a Walmart listing, Trailbreaker will be general retail, which means we won't be waiting until November for the damn
Good.
thing.
Yeah, no, Fast
Hey.
Track was the surprise, and hooray, that means we'll have the companion robot to Scorponok,
Yeah.
the Titan class, and apparently we'll still get at least one more weaponizer. So
Awesome.
Yeah, which I mean, hopefully, Fast Track takes more after Cog than Brunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voyager, Snapdragon, and
With-
that Voyager Quintesson again.
Yeah.
the Snapdragon gives me concern after the ape face we got, but I'm
Yeah.
holding out a modest amount of hope. I don't want to set myself up for disappointment again.
And Double Dealer, leader class. Why another Double Dealer? What is it about Double Dealer?
Because the last double dealer we got was crap. Well, okay, so
See, I even like that Blitzwing, but I can't argue with that because that was just cheap.
No, I don't dislike that Blitzwing toy as such. I have Cloud Starscream even, which was actually made from the Double Dealer retool. But yeah, the Double Dealer that exists already is just a minor Blitzwing retool. That Blitzwing, that 2014, 2013 Blitzwing was not a good toy, objectively speaking. As much affection as I have for some of its aesthetic choices, we need like a proper updated Double Dealer at this point.
Why?
And
It's Double Dealer.
well, okay, what
Exactly.
you're not looking at the big picture here, Brian. Double Dealer is a Power Master,
Yes.
and hopefully we're not going to go the Titans Return route again and have him as a headmaster, but they will introduce little Power Master figures to go with this, so that we can get subsequent Power Master updates using that same engineering framework.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at this.
Slapdash and
Yeah.
Ranger. Yeah.
I'm looking at this in terms of what it means for the future. Plus, again, I liked Master Force a lot, and Clouder was Double Dealer. And look, we need a proper Double Dealer update. It doesn't exist, and it should, and it's something that's not 1984 or 85. So
That's
stop
true.
complaining.
That's true.
Yes.
Last news item. Thank Primus.
I know, right? I'm out of Cheer One.
Yeah, I'm long out of soda.
I'm
Right,
literally out of
you're
Cheer
the
1.
one that made the show notes.
I know.
And they were shorter this year.
They were
thankfully.
much shorter this year.
Yeah, I mean, I looked through them ahead of time with the option to trim out things I thought shouldn't be here, and like, no, it all made sense, unfortunately.
So, exclusive reissue G1 Astro Train found at Walmart. $50.
Yeah, so about that. Now,
No.
it's been a while since I've seen a G1 triple changer toy in person, but as far as I remember, they're tiny and kind of shit. Crap, sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we've
They're
got
tiny and crap.
remember
Astro Train
Safety
is not a big toy.
No.
remember Safety Astro Train? We got in a 2-pack with Blitzwing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
with
it was-
Steel's Blitzwing.
I think that pack was like $50 for the two.
No, I believe it was 80.
It was?
I
Yeah,
think
that's-
so.
So this still represents a little bit of markup, but yeah, Astro Train in train mode. I have G1 Astro Train. He's about the size of a hot dog. He's
Yeah, I don't-
not
A
he's not
small
large.
hot dog.
So, like,
Yeah.
okay,
Hot dog
G-
without the bun.
No, with
G1
the bun.
Yes.
yeah. G1 Optimus Prime, cab only, did not make sense at $50, but, like, comparatively, more I could see that being $50 than dinky little Astro Train.
There's
And,
more
you know,
engineering to Astro
Soundwave
Train.
Soundwave seemed just right at $50, and going from that to this at the same price point is just like shelf poison.
This is a $35 max.
At most. I don't understand why Astro Train has to be $50.
You know, I
This
think,
makes the $50 Siege Astro Train look like a bargain.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
That's even a bigger strike against this reissue because it's gonna be like literally right next door to that for
Yeah, so we have two $50 Astro Trains on the shelf at the same time.
Which one would you pick?
This is like one of those real world intelligence tests. It's like, which one are you going to spend $50 on? Of course, I'm going to fail the test because I'm going to buy it if I see it. But yeah,
I mean, you'll if you get both, I'm not sure what that exactly means for the
I've
test.
already got the Siege Astro Train. So
I'm
Well-
still waiting on mine, but
in context of the test, choosing both just invalidates his results entirely. Like it's a net zero.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think it's a negative.
I'll be
one.
honest. I was kind of hoping they would do more of the similar to the eHobby cartoon colors. 'Cause
Yeah,
that thing goes for a lot of money. So that would
Does
be
it?
yeah. Well, the last time I was standing
Or
right there.
$50.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually was standing beside a guy that spent $250 on one at BotCon several years ago, obviously. But I mean, the cartoon colored Astro Train was always been hard to find. The last time.
Cartoon color. I thought you meant
Yeah,
the general Takara reissue.
no. That's just what we're getting. Basically, we're getting the original toy colors.
Yeah, I was just hoping that it would be closer to those cartoon colors, so collectors who can't afford the eHobby version would at least
And
have
that's
something.
kind of what we were expecting too.
Yeah.
Although there is the remote possibility that like that version might become available on Hasbro Pulse a little later on.
So I was talking about the the Encore, like Encore 11 or whatever the number is, the white colored one.
Yeah, which is what
Mhm.
Walmart one is.
Is it?
It's white.
Yeah, it's very close.
It's
It looks like the original toy to me.
it's much more
I
original.
thought the original toy was gray. And
It is
purple.
gray.
It's a very light gray. It is practically.
But like the one that came out like 10, 11 years ago, whatever, was like bone white.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, but I think Takara's original color scheme was the black and white, and then we got it in the color in the purples that we got
In the
And
cartoon
then-
colors.
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
cartoon colors.
But this Walmart reissue is absolutely not cartoon colored,
No.
Unfortunately,
not by any stretch.
Okay.
Then it's definitely not worth $50.
No, because again, we were speculating that this reissue would be the cartoon colors, so it would be something different that came before and would actually be more like what a collector would probably expect to find.
unless of course they did that on purpose, so it wouldn't look closer to Siege Astro Train.
I don't. I mean, accepting cases like Kilby, I don't think that's really, something they have to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't need to worry about confusion or competition in that.
And that was 2019 in review. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you out there for watching or listening. We appreciate it. You are why we do this. And some sort of mental defect, I think, probably too. That's probably another reason.
tfradio.net/Amazon.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next week.
Happy New Year, everybody.
This has been Radio Free Cybertron. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Watch our live stream at tfradio.net/live. Join our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/tfradio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, TF Radio Network. Have a question or comment? Leave it on our Facebook fan page or mail it to contact@tfradio.net. This podcast is released under a Creative Commons license. Any part of this podcast can and should be redistributed, but please, proper attribution is required if you know what's good for you. Jeez, when are these guys ever going to move out of their parents' basements?